Are your headphones pretty good, Itzel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear the music?
I cannot hear anything.
You can't hear anything?
No.
You can't?
No, I can't.
Oh. Can you hear my voice?
No.
You cannot hear my voice?
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear Maria's voice?
Hi.
A little bit, yeah.
Can you hear your own voice?
I cannot. I can hear me talking, but...
I can hear you just fine.
I think you're good. This is Roddy Radio, and we are recording at this is the new studio. We're just gonna take over at this house.
Yeah.
This is a house. We're squatting. It's an abandoned house we found, and we put the couch. This is the couch, the famous couch.
Store couch.
The store couch. This used to be at the store, and now everybody misses it. But we have a very
Roddy
special
and the
guest.
big gray couch.
Very special guest, because you've been on the show. This is third time, I think.
My third time, yes.
Your third time on the show, but the first time in person. And I haven't seen Itzel in some like 5 years in person. But we've kept in touch, and both the times you've been on, we've talked about relationships and sex and all that dating and all that shit. So I think that's what we're going to be talking about today. Because Maria's been wanting to do an episode like this for a while.
No.
Not about the sex, but about dating
Dating
and all that
in your
kind of
30s,
shit.
it's hard sometimes.
It's very hard all the time. What do you mean sometimes?
Sometimes it's hard.
Well, you live in Idaho Falls, so...
I think that makes it harder, though.
Because todo mundo se conoce
Exactly,
aquí. Everybody
yeah.
knows each other.
Yeah.
You meet somebody that you think is new, and then there's somebody's exes that you know that's exes with somebody else, and then, yeah.
We're all linked.
Yeah.
It's
Todos
the
se
circle
comen
of life.
con
I think.
Yep. And then they end up hating you because
of past shit that you can't change.
that
Yeah.
you can't change. Exactly.
Yeah.
Y luego allá en California, pues hay más que escoger, ¿no?
I must fish in the sea, yeah. Pero son bien mamones a veces, so you kind of just have to like weed them out, you know?
Yeah. ¿Cómo que son mamones?
Well, mamones y se creen muy como princesos. Like, I don't know if you, I guess, here, seen that, but like some guys, like, they want the princess treatment.
It's changed a lot in the last, I think, 15 years.
Yeah.
Guys want the princess treatment?
Men are not men anymore.
Yeah, they're not like...
It's not just over there. It's here too.
Okay. Yeah, they're...
Yeah.
What do you mean, like they want pedicures and shit?
Well,
No.
también.
Well, no, like women pay for dates.
Yeah.
It's very normal. We chase.
Yeah.
Like they'll ghost you because they want you to like look
Que
for
nos
them.
regues.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yo no soy para rogarle a nadie.
Ni
No,
mi tampoco.
with paying for dates, you guys, I think paying for dates would be messed up, but what about going Dutch? How do you guys feel about that?
Oh, dude, I totally do not mind paying for dates or going Dutch.
I think going Dutch is okay, especially like when you're first starting. But having you pay for it all, I think that's a huge no.
So this is how I feel about it. I used to do it all the time, and then like I don't care. Like it's not a thing. Like money has never been an issue for me. Like you don't have to have money to date me. But in the beginning, I've learned that if you want to like if you want something serious with somebody, with a man, like having them, leaving them in their masculine energy, which is letting them pay for the date, letting them feel masculine, is what like sets the tone, you know, in the relationship. So if you start paying right away from the beginning, they're just gonna be like,
All right.
yeah,
You take it.
but so I've let men pay for the dates in the beginning, and then after that I'm like, hey, like you paid last time, I'm okay paying now, or let me pay for half, you know, or hey, you got this, like you paid for the movies, let me pay for the snacks, or I'll pay for the gas if we're going on a trip, or you know.
That's cool when she offers, but I don't think it should ever be expected, like a guy expecting a girl to do that.
But también ya tienes que estar dating the guy for a little bit for you to even offer.
Yeah, that's
because
not first
it's
date
like,
shit.
First date,
you think the guy should pay for everything?
I absolutely do.
Me too.
I have never paid for a date, guys, so.
Es lo que me estaba diciendo la otra vez, que she, one time she had 3 dates in one day. She had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She got all 3 meals covered that day, she said.
Because, like, es que, like, I think I got not a lot of shit from that, but they're like, oh, if I'm into one guy, like, I'm gonna. But yeah, like, you're actively dating people, and like learn after dating for such a while, like I'm not going to for a long time, I'm not gonna go on a date with this guy and just like focus on him, you know, like I have to meet different people, because like si hace algo y no me gusta, then You know, I have
another option.
Yeah. Entonces, and that's when I was like actively dating different people and just like meeting them, going on dates and, you know, trying to get to know them or whatever. Pero obvio no los vas a conocer en un date. You have to like keep dating. But some of them, like as soon as they would say something, like made a comment that reminded me of my ex or like just something, an ick, I would just be like, okay, I'm done.
Bounce.
Bye. You know, like I don't want to keep talking to you. Like this is pointless.
Yeah.
And so then, so when I would have free time and I would talk to them, like I would, you know, we would set something up and it's like, okay, let's go have breakfast. Okay, yeah. Y luego con el otro, oh, let's go have dinner. Okay, yeah. Hey, do you want to go for a drink? When they take me out for drinks though, like I kind of know that
The vibe,
yeah, and I'm like,
it's not serious.
this is not something serious. They just probably want to get drunk and
Oh,
you know,
really?
get
Is
fucked.
that the going out for drinks isn't a serious date?
Not for me, no.
Maybe if it's coffee,
Really?
I think it's okay.
Yeah, coffee's fine.
Or because I've been on
Coffee
recently
dates.
on a date, a
So
drink
daytime dates are more serious, like lunch or breakfast.
Yeah,
or?
yeah. Well, I've been asked out on a date, a drink date, but it wasn't alcohol.
Oh.
So, and he's been taking me seriously in a way. But a alcohol date, like I've had a guy in my DMs for the last 2 months asking me, like every time, we should hang out. Oh yeah, and then I'll be like, yeah, where do you want to go? Well, there's nothing really to do here. Let's go on a drink. Bye.
Yeah.
Let's go
Like-
get fucked up.
No, and I'm like, dude. Like, just because you saw me at the bar one time and you
Doesn't mean
thought-
that's like your thing.
yeah, like no,
Yeah.
And from the and
That's my
the
thing.
craziest thing, okay, the craziest thing, and this is I am so turned off by men, is like they'll see you in person and they have no fucking balls to ask you on a date or to talk to you or even acknowledge you. But then the second they leave like your presence, they'll add you on not Snapchat, but like on social media and send you a
I've done
message.
that shit.
Fuck men that do that. Fuck men that do
I've
that.
done that
Fuck
shit.
you.
Yeah, pretty much what you're saying. I've done that shit.
No.
It's never
like
like that's
that
what
mean- to
I've
me-
said that before on the show too. Though, if it wasn't for messaging, text messages, IMs, all this shit, I'd still be a virgin. Like I rely on that shit. Like I don't go that far as like, oh no, I'm not even gonna talk to you, acknowledge you. Like I'll talk to chicks and shit, but I'll never ask them out in person and sit until later. I start hitting them up,
that's
and
different
then like
though.
you know, send them a couple dick pics and see where it goes from there.
I hate when I get dick pics. I hate that. I cannot. As soon
Okay.
as a guy sends me that, it's like,
Just
okay,
kidding, by
blocked.
the way.
Okay.
I don't want to talk
That's
to
not
you.
the move.
I'm
But I
gonna
mean,
say-
I just am a lot more comfortable asking you out, like afterwards over the phone.
That's okay, but I mean, what I mean by it is like you not even acknowledge. I'm talking about like this
we're in the
happened
same room
recent-
like this. Like there's
Yes.
a party and we're like
Yeah.
this far
like,
apart.
I'm here with my friends. You're over there with your friends. You keep looking at me back and forth.
But I
I
didn't say
noticed.
shit.
Didn't even
even say what's
smile.
up.
Yeah, nothing. And then the second I'm pulling him to my driveway, somehow or some way you found out what my name was and you added me on Facebook, and then tried to DM
What do
me.
they say? Like, what was up?
Hey,
I just saw you.
I saw you. Yeah, you did, and I did too. And guess what? You didn't say hi to me, so bye.
That's funny shit.
That's like a man that doesn't have confidence, and I don't need that in my life. Yeah, that's
Lo que dijo María.
no, but hey, okay. So let's talk about this. Okay, so you just said that you get dick pics, right?
I have a few times. I actually did recently get one. This guy, he added me on Instagram, and if me mandan un mensaje, hey, how are you? Good, whatever. Y después me empezó a decir, you like tall guys, right? And I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, if you're tall, if you're kind of my size, like, I'm not gonna discriminate, you know, like,
Right. As
está
long
bien.
as you're not shorter than me.
As long as you're not shorter than me, then we're good.
Yeah.
And so then,
Same.
and so then he's like, well, then I'm 6'3", and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But like, I don't really like respond to how they want me to respond to the message. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, whatever. And he's like, yeah, so that means that I have a big dick. And I was like, okay, nice.
Does it really?
But it doesn't.
It doesn't. I'm like, I've never had that experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And so then he was like, can I send you one? And I'm like, not really. I don't want one. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. It pasó un día. And so he asked me again. And he's like, can I just send it to you? I was like, okay, go for it, whatever. He sends it to me, but he I think he took it from like down there.
Angle.
And so I was able to see like everything. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm like, nice.
Yep, that's a dick.
I mean, what else am I going to say, you know? Like, no, I'm not going to give you a compliment for
Congratulations.
it. Yeah, I just said, nice. Yeah. And so he's like, okay, that was it. And then he's like, can we hang out? And I'm like, yeah, let me know when. And he lives in Burbank, and I live in Orange. I'm not really sure how far that is. I think maybe like an hour and a half, maybe. No sé. And he's like, maybe we can hang out on Monday. And I was like, yeah, cool. Let me know. Pero cuando me dicen, let's hang, you know, maybe we can do this. Maybe I know that they're not serious. They're not going to set up anything. So I go on about my day. You know, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, you don't change your plans.
That's part of like que quieren que les reguen. How they want you to be like, oh, yeah, we should. Hey, how about this weekend and this and this and this? They want you to plan most of it.
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
They think the ball is in your court.
Yeah, like, no. Like, if you want to hang out with me, you're going to make plans for that. And you're going to...
Put the effort.
Yeah. Like, it's not going to come from me. And so, bueno, el chiste es que we didn't hang out. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I think it was... What was the recent holiday? Veterans Day? On the 11th? Labor
November 11th is
Veterans Day, no?
Or Veterans, okay.
Yeah, he was like, hey, what are you doing today? And I'm like, oh, you know, like, I'm going to work for a little bit. He's like, do you want to hang out? And I was like, yeah, sure. Igual. I knew I wasn't going to go anywhere. And then he's like, but before we hang out, he's like, can you, you know, I know what you can do. And I was like, what? And he was like, maybe you can send me a picture. And I was like, nah, I don't do those pictures. Sorry. Nah. And he's like, oh, okay, well, that's fine then.
Dang.
And then we never hung out.
Yeah, exactly.
So he didn't care about hanging out. He just wanted to see your titties.
He just, exactly. That's all he, or, you know, something else.
Or your bush or whatever.
Wait a minute. It's not a bush.
It's a landing plane.
Pues ya, ella no me mandó mensaje. Ya hasta después me volvió a mandar mensaje otra vez, but I'm like, okay. He didn't, 2 times where he asked to hang out, he didn't put any effort. Like, he's not serious. He just wants to, like, fuck around, which is fine, you know, but I don't want that. Because, you know, I already have a thing going on, and so, like, ¿para qué? You know?
Yeah.
So.
I just want to clarify that I'm not much of a dick pic sender. I just said that.
Wait, hold on.
I just said that to get you talking.
We talk about this all the time, and you say you send them all the time.
I send them to my friends. I send them to Itzel all the time because she's my friend.
He will send me a message.
But I'm not a dick pic sender when I'm trying to hook up with a chick, is what I mean.
He will send me a message.
If I send you a dick pic, it's because I know there's nothing to lose. Like,
so when you said you were going to talk about sex, this is what you're talking about.
I don't even remember what sex is like at this point. So
Pero sí me ha mandado fotos. But I want to clarify why he sends me pictures. Sometimes. He doesn't do it all the time. And sometimes he does say, hey, bud, do you want a dick pic? Like,
I think with maturity, I ask you now. Back in the day, I didn't ask you. I was
Back
just
in
like,
the day, he did. He would just send them. Pero ahora me pregunta y le digo, no, God, thank you for asking, though. I appreciate it. And sometimes he'll send it, but, you know, a veces no. But we have to clarify why you send them to me.
Why?
Because one day, well, we used to work together.
Oh, yeah. She saw it in person before I sent her a picture.
So we work together. He gets fired.
I move on. I get a job.
Whatever. Then I keep working at this place. Then I get fired. And it was my first job out of high school. So I was super sad. I was a mess. And so my first instinct was like, hey, let me go to Rodrigo's house. Just show up.
She showed up at my apartment. I was getting ready to go to work.
Y este güey sale en toalla. ¿Saliste en toalla?
Yeah, I was like, you got there, and I was like, apenas me voy a meter a bañar, wait for me, I'm going to hit the shower, I'll be right out, and, you know, we'll head out. You can go to the mall with me, because I was working at the mall.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, go to the mall with me, you can, you know, apply for jobs everywhere.
Y pues sale en toalla. Y después he just lets it.
I just dropped it.
Drops it. And then
I cheered her up.
Yeah, and... So, yeah, I was like, oh, my God. And I wasn't expecting it.
Did I not make your day better, though?
But he did make my day better. And
it was a good laugh.
Since then, he sends me dicks, you know?
I'm like, I don't know if it would have made my day better. I would have been like,
It's because you have too much past trauma. I knew she was going to have a good laugh about it.
So, yeah, so I just laughed. I was like, okay.
Like, it didn't feel like sexual assault at the time.
Yeah.
To either of us. I don't like, that wasn't.
Yeah, no.
Like we had that type of friendship anyway. That it was like, check this out, and like we had a good laugh about it.
And so then ever since then, like me manda, like before sí me mandaba más, pero then after I started dating that white guy, then yeah, we nos distanciamos.
That's the thing. I'm very respectful, and I have other friends, and not just dick pics, but like even like sexual memes and stuff like that.
He sends me all those.
But I've had other friends that are
I'm
you know,
fine with that.
because I hang out with a lot of girls. Y me cae más bien que me digan straight up like, hey, I'm dating this guy right now, so if you cannot send shit like that, I was like, oh, cool, thanks for the heads up. Instead of just, oh, now why the fuck am I blocked?
No.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like we had kind of that, like, you know, we send memes like all the time.
They're dirty.
Yeah,
sometimes,
and then when I was dating somebody, like I stopped sending those kind of memes, and you did too.
Yeah, I kind of.
So it was mutual.
You catch the vibe.
Yeah.
It's like okay.
Yeah.
Like I'll still send memes.
Yeah, funny
No, I
memes,
haven't
but
sent
not
her
nothing
dick
that
pics.
is not
So
sexual
we're like-
abuse.
Yeah, we're a little bit closer. I've known you for a lot longer though. I've only known her we're going on 2 years of knowing each other. I've known you for
Yeah.
Since I was-
forever. Since you were 15. I didn't know you back then, pero
Pero ¿cómo decías?
estaba bien feita.
Yeah.
You look the same like you did before.
She's cute now. She was ugly when she was 15.
No,
What?
but
I've known you since you were like 16.
Es que su hermano me pidió que le hiciera un mix para su quinceañera, para baile sorpresa. I didn't even know what that was. That was like for the first time I heard the term baile sorpresa. And so I'm like, oh, para la quinceañera de tu hermana. I was like, she hot? He's like, I don't know. And I was like, show me a picture. And he showed me. And I was like, se parece a ti, güey. No mames. No, she's ugly as fuck. But I said it to him. And look at
a text message.
And she
I was
saw the
just
text
going
message.
through my brother's, phone, and I see it. It's like, está bien pinche fea tu hermana. And I was like,
Oh,
estás más
thanks.
horrible.
Thanks. Dang.
But look at us now. She's my best friend.
Yeah.
And she's cute. She's really cute. Except those
Yes.
fucking glasses. I just realized you're wearing glasses. Fucking. That's something.
You're wearing glasses.
That's something I wanted to talk about. That's on the stuff here. Just the because I noticed this last weekend. I was out and about, and there was this chick, and she was okay looking, and she was kind of talking to me a little bit, but she was wearing glasses though, and and I realized how ironic that is when I'm like, I don't really like girls with glasses, you know. And I think it's just the wrong glasses because I was just fucking talking shit to you because you look good, your glasses look good, but this girl's glasses they didn't look good on her. So I'm like, fucking four-eyed freak, get the fuck away from me.
Okay, you know what? If somebody asked me, like, Rodrigo, the one that wears glasses, and I'm like,
Yeah.
which one? Like, they go so well with you that I don't even tell that you
don't
got
realize that
glasses.
they're-
Yeah.
And same thing with her. You kind of forget she wears them because she knows how to pick a frame.
Yeah.
How long have you been wearing glasses?
I want to say I was in junior high, maybe.
Yeah. See,
But I used to wear more contacts before.
Yeah, I don't
So-
remember you wearing glasses, but I also, like I said, I can't tell. Somebody will be like, oh yeah, the one wearing glasses. I'm like, they were?
Yeah, no, I used to wear more contacts. More recently that I started just wearing glasses.
But I noticed that I'm kind of a jerk like that. I'm like, no me gusta que tengan lentes, no me gusta que estén gordas, no me gusta que estén chaparras, and I'm all of those things. Actually, I do like short girls. I love short girls.
I don't want them to have like thin hair. Is that what you told me?
Oh yeah, because there was a girl that had thin hair, and I was like, I don't want them to have thin. I
and
have
you're
thin
like,
hair.
you have thin.
I have very thin hair, and it's thinning every day. It thins out a little bit more, but
No, pues me saliste muy delicado.
no, see, I need a perfect girl. The thing is, the problem with me is that I've batted outside of my league so many times that I can't settle for any less anymore. Y lo malo es que entre más viejo me hago, peor estoy.
Here I am betting under my
Yeah,
league
for real.
all the time.
For real, I like girls like you. They bat under their league because then they can hook up with me.
A humble over here.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that is something I wanted to point out. And then this last weekend also, andaba en el, because I was DJing with alternando con un grupo, and so I was just chilling. I went all the way to the back. You know why I went all the way to the back? Because I had to fart. There was nobody in the back, so I'm like sitting back
You
there
wouldn't
farting.
even care about that. You're so like, whatever.
There wasn't enough people. If there was a lot of people, there was a lot of people, but it wasn't crowded. If it was crowded, I'd fart and fucking blame someone else. But there was a small enough amount of people where they might figure out who farted. So I went all the way to the back at the Golden Nugget. You know how it's like that?
Oh, yeah.
And so from up there, I noticed a table que hay dos parejas, and then there's a girl by herself. So I'm like, shit, I'm gonna ask this girl to dance. Y me lanzo. And le digo, ¿quieres bailar? And she's like, no sé cómo. And I'm like, fuck,
Yo te
I hate
enseño.
that shit. Yo no dije, I don't say that because everybody says, yo te enseño. I say, yo tampoco. But she's like, no, de veras, a lo mejor al rato. And I was like, oh, whatever, fucking dumb bitch.
That's how I am now when I don't want to dance with somebody.
You say que no sabes?
ya no sé. Or, mejor al rato.
Yeah.
That's what I say now, because before I used to like every single person that would ask me
You'd be
to dance.
down.
But then now I'm like, I got standards.
Yeah. Y pero luego, ya después más adelante, I was down there and I saw her go dance with her 2 girlfriends she was with. Mm-hmm. And she wasn't lying, dude. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, estaba más tiesa que mi riata la morra. Like, she did not know how to dance.
She was probably me.
And I mean, I'm no John Travolta. I'm not like an incredible dancer, but I can hold my own, you know? Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
A ver.
Ahorita vamos a ir a bailar, Itzel. No, Itzel, pero tú estás chilangona. Tú sabes bailar de vueltas y todo eso, yo creo, ¿no?
Well, I dance with my mom. That's how I learned how to dance, but...
Sí, I can't keep up with like a chilanga que sabe así bailar de vueltas.
See, and I wasn't allowed to dance. So, like, unless I get some alcohol in me, then I don't know how to dance.
No.
Yeah. And I love to dance.
Yeah.
I love to
alcohol?
dance.
Yo con alcohol y sin alcohol.
Oh, tú sí bailas?
But, you know, like, I like going to growing up, nunca me dejaban salir.
I remember your parents were the closest strict as my parents were.
Well, but you know what's crazy though? Mm-hmm. I have a little sister. She's 18. Mm-hmm. Y esta hace un desmadre.
Oh yeah, I have 2 little brothers. The same shit.
They don't do like, when was it? Halloween. Mm-hmm. She went out to a party. She calls me. She's like, "Hey, can you Uber me home from Blackfoot?" And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm at a party." And I'm like, I never got to go to a party when I was 18.
Dude, my brother was 14 and he stole my parents' van. He would steal it all the time. And I'm like, dude, if I even tried to get behind the wheel, I would have got killed.
Yeah. But no, like, I mean, los bailes a los que yo iba eran puras quinceañeras. You know, back in the day. That's the only thing that I was allowed to go to. And
no ibas a las pulgas.
I think I went to one house party one time. And it was at... Edgar's and Ed's and, you know.
Oh, they used to throw some cool ass parties.
And it was one, but it was only because
you lied to your parents.
Ed and Julio were my quinceañera and my mom les caía bien. So me dejaron ir con ellos with another friend. But that was it. Other than that, like, I was never allowed to go anywhere. I had to stay home.
And when my parents would take me to dances, my dad would, and they had to ask him if I could dance with them. They're like, no, me tienen que pedir permiso. Yeah.
Was he pretty good about giving him permission or not?
Yeah. So, but I remember the first dance like they ever took me to. I think it was like Tierra Cali at Pulgas, and it was like packed. Like people couldn't even dance how bad it was. Well, my friend was there. I was like, oh, Dad, let me go say hi to my friend. And like, it was so expensive back then. It was like $65 to get in each person. So my mom was like, I'll just stay in the van. So my mom stayed in the van and my dad took me in. Oh. And my best friend was there with her cousins and everybody. And she's like, hey, come here. And so I went over there and they asked me to dance. I was dancing with them and my dad's like, vámonos. Oh. And I was like, why? And they're like, porque no me pediste permiso.
Oh. Yo, you can't even dance with your girlfriends
no, then. No, they're like, you left me. You went somewhere else. You didn't stay here with me. Yeah, I learned from that one.
Yeah, no, like
my parents are strict.
Yeah, I mean that was the only things, you know, dances that I could go to. And ahorita, I mean, ahora que vivo allá, like, sí hay más ambiente y hay más cosas que hacer, but I really don't go out to the dances.
Ya cuando nadie te dice que no, ya no quieres.
Yeah, no. Like, I've gone to a couple bars out there, but I don't, you know, go dancing, no.
You're not big on that kind of shit.
No, I'm just like, Shit. I like to go out and, like, have a beer sometimes, you know. Eso sí no le digo que no.
Do they have good bars, good clubs over there?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, what time do they close here usually? Do they have 2? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I think about the same time.
Yeah.
Roughly. Yeah. They have bars here?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're kind of lame. I just had my first experience at a bar at the bars in Boise, and that was pretty cool.
Oh, the bars that were in Boise? Yeah.
Did you go to a strip club? I've been meaning to ask you.
No.
Because in your picture that you posted on the back, it says girls, girls, girls.
That was the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
It was in the bathroom.
I thought it was like girls, like
no
dancers.
It was one of the cool, I guess, clubs there. But everybody, like the girls that were taking us around, they're like, "Oh, these ones are the good ones. Like, don't stay out of there."
When you go other places, you have to have someone take you. Si no, acabas en los peores.
Well, I don't know. There was this one. I can't remember what it was called. It was Love Something. And we're like, everywhere else is dead. And that place looks bomb. Yeah. And they're like, no, we don't go there. Like, everybody's like freaking coke in the bathroom and all this shit.
I went to one. No me acuerdo cuál fui. En Boise también. And it was just a bunch of friends. And like, there was this girl que se iba a casar y andaba ahí con su bride to be, whatever.
Yeah.
She was like literally like casi se echaba ahí con un señor. Like, and you could tell like he, you know, nada más para eso la iba a querer and stuff. Pero yeah, hay unos lugares donde se ponen bien pedas y like.
I know this really nice Mormon girl, and now she's a Mormon mother, has kids and everything. And like she was telling us like she went to, I think it was in Utah though. I'm Utah or Boise, no me acuerdo. But she got fingered on the dance floor. And then just last month, she was all posting about how she's all excited that Trump won and stuff. And I'm like, bitch, you got fingered on the dance floor. You can't be a conservative.
Oh my God.
She's changed.
She's mature.
Don't judge her.
You know, because people change.
I liked her a lot better when she was getting fingered on the dance floor. I'll tell you.
Well, we walked over there because that one club, because I was like, dude, like, it looks so bomb over there. There's lots of people. And over there, everywhere else we've been, like, it's dead. So we get there, and then, like, you go, there's, you know, the dance floor, and then you can go upstairs. So we went upstairs, and I was like, I really have to use the bathroom. And they're like, don't use the bathroom. And it doesn't even have, like, a girl or guy bathroom. It's just a bathroom. And it's super nice, first of all. Like, I love nice bathrooms. I don't know about you guys, but it's a nice bathroom. It's fancy. And then you, like, walk in, and then there's, like, the urinal and then the toilet. The toilet was freaking disgusting. Oh. There was, like, paper all the way to the top. And I did my thing and then got out. And I'm like, that's the only place where, like, guys actually went up to me and tried to talk to me. And handsome guys.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Good choices.
Yeah, good choices there.
It's aquí in Idaho Falls. I don't know.
I liked about my identity, but yeah, you know.
Oh, you should give it. You're like, me llamo Itzel.
Yeah, me llamo Itzel y trabajo en una guardería.
Making shit up.
Yep.
We were talking about that. My little brother turns 21 next month, and so we did like a little. I bought him a cake, and
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I was like, you have to have a shot. I'm like, that's just
Yeah.
Because
you're not going to be here by then.
La
tradición. La tradición que tienes que tomarse tu shot, que no sé qué. And so we took a shot, and after that, like, mi otro hermano, I guess, got a little too happy. I don't know. And he's like, yeah, you know, when you go to, le estaba dando consejos, cuando vayas al bar, nobody knows you, so you can just make up all this bullshit. You know, you're never going to see them. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Here in Idaho Falls, you
are. In
Idaho,
you kind of have
Trust me.
Well, he lives in, up in Moscow.
Mm-hmm, okay.
Porque va a la escuela allá. So he's like, yeah, you can just go out and no sé qué. And I was just like,
yeah, maybe college towns you can get away with it.
Yeah, I'm like, I've never done that in my life.
You've always given your
my
real
name's
shit?
Gabby, Maria.
I was gonna say, what happened to that, Gabby?
Liar.
Well, I mean, like, a name, but not to give him a whole story, you know?
But, yeah, I think that was before we started recording, huh? How you tell people your name is Gabby. Yeah. But that's just because you don't like telling them your name, porque luego te dicen
Es que nadie sabe decir mi nombre.
Itzel.
No one. Like, even... Like,
You're the first person I knew with that name.
Itzel,
and now I know a lot of...
I have no idea.
You don't know what it is?
It's from Mexico, but it's...
Yeah,
pero ha de ser como Zapoteca o Azteca o algo. Because I know, like, my niece se llama Nayeli. Y eso, I think, is Zapoteca. And it means I love you.
Oh, really?
Isn't that beautiful?
No, I mean, nunca pueden decir mi nombre. So, like, me caga. Y trabajo con muchos hispanos where it's like, okay, you should be able to say my name just fine.
Right.
Y me dicen Giselle, Isela. A veces hasta me cambian el nombre. And I'm like...
Yeah.
Itzel. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
So it's just easier to say. Like, even when I go out and get something, it's like, oh, a name? Oh, Maria. Oh, Gabby. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If I'm with my kids, I give my kids names, like, for orders. Like, can I get a name on the orders? Like, Eileen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I don't want to, because then they're like, even if I say, like, my shortened, whiteified name, I'm like, Rod. They're like, Rob? Or Brad? And I'm like, yeah, what the fuck ever. I don't give a fuck. Just give me my shit. Like, that's why you use the number. Come on. Number 463? Like, I like that shit better. You know what I mean? God damn. But we were talking about dating in your 30s. And
it's hard. It's rough.
You were talking about like non-negotiables and shit like that. Like, what are some non-negotiables for you guys?
I forgot to write them down.
A mí no me preguntaste, ¿sabes? Pero
I have a little thing I wrote down actually, but I didn't write it down. I like saved it.
And you have your non-negotiables written down?
Yes.
Oh shit, she's super prepared.
I actually
a mí no me prepararon, so
I was actually scrolling, and this is something I've shared before. So it's like respect my time, match my energy, keep your promises, and be consistent. And honestly, that's like top like.
And by non-negotiable, you mean like cero tolerancia, like a la primera que la caguen, peace out.
I've done that. You know, I'm a super busy woman. Mm-hmm. I have 3 kids. I'm a single mom. I have them most of the time. I am a business owner. I am super busy all the time. So I literally have like little bits and pieces of time to give somebody. And when they don't respect that, or they don't put in the effort to meet me halfway, like I will jump hoops if you tell me like this is the only time, you know. I will do just as I will give you the effort. I will match your effort if you give me the effort. But it is, there's nothing more that lets me down than like somebody that doesn't match my energy. I hate that shit. Mm-hmm. Because honestly, there's like you were talking, you know, like men want to be treated like princes now. Yeah, it's be men, please. Mm-hmm. Like you plan the date. There is nothing more attractive than somebody that gives you all the effort, and then when they're the ones planning stuff. Because I was married for 10 years and I did that shit for 10 years.
You were the man.
Mm-hmm. I was the man in that relationship. It's like I want to be in a relationship again, but I think I want to be the woman this time.
Seriously, yeah.
I think maybe that's what the guys want now too. They want to be the girl. But they want
that now too, and it's like, no, as you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I can take care of you. I can provide for you as well. But please do it back. Like I'm tired of doing it all by myself.
Seriously, have it be expected.
Yeah. You know, I shouldn't talk too much because I've been recently on a date. A couple months ago, actually, not very recent.
El otro día.
El otro día. I always say that. It's been a couple months. I think, so I recently got on a dating app or Facebook dating.
That's the worst one.
No, that's where I met my guy that I talked to. That's where I met him.
I get
Muslim
like
guy.
Just real quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but just real quick on my I occasionally go on Facebook dating. And there's like 4 hot Mexican girls and then just a bunch of nasty white girls.
Es que no tienes mucha, like, there's not a lot of diversity over here.
That's what I'm saying.
So, like...
Okay, yeah, I'm going to complain about the same thing because every time it says exact match, it's some freaking red hair, nasty, overweight, short, very short, nasty white, freaking gross looking.
How short is short?
5'4" and below.
Okay. How tall are you?
5'5".
Oh, no.
How short is short for you?
I'm 5'4". So if you're 5'4" and para abajo,
igual.
Olvídalo. Like no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, I was about to ask you girls out.
Yeah, no. You're like 5'6", no?
No, I'm 5'4". I say I'm 5'5", but I'm 5'4".
Damn. I remember being on another podcast and I was like, yeah, the most unattractive thing from a guy is like when they live with their parents. And then he's like, oh, okay, good to know. And I'm like, oh, shit. I didn't know he lived with his parents.
But I haven't always lived. Not too long ago, el otro día, a couple of months ago, I was hanging out with these 2 ladies. Like, I bumped into them at a show. And it's a girl that I've known forever. Like, we used to work together and stuff. And we got to talking, and I said something about, like, oh, well, I'm living with my mom. And she's like, have you ever lived by yourself? I'm like, dude, I lived by myself for, like, 15 years. Like, it's not like I've never moved out. Like that's the difference, I think.
Yeah.
Malo fuera que nunca he salido. I've never been on my own.
That's true. But to
it's
me...
It's the situation that's having me right there.
Yeah. To me, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, at my age, like, I own my own house. Okay, so you better at least live in your own apartment. Mm-hmm. Because I've already dated when I owned my own house, somebody that lived with his parents, and 2 weeks, dude, and he was already moved in.
He was moving in.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I always loved having my own place because friends could show up and I could drop the towel.
You can drop the towel.
That was one of the best parts of living by myself.
Oh my gosh, I cannot.
But also, I mean, part of why I live with my mom too is like, it's not just because I have to or like because I'm broke as shit right now. A big part of it is because I want to, because she was living by herself.
Right.
She's getting older.
Yeah.
It's like, why am I going to be spending money over here when we could both help each other? I'm not going to say I'm taking care of her. She still works and stuff.
Yeah.
But like she could use the help. I could use the help. Why are we going to be our separate ways?
And I don't believe everything's always like black and white. Okay. There's so many exceptions to everything. It just depends. Like if you're broke right now, I'm not going to be unattracted to you just because you're broke right now.
Yeah.
Situations change.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't date you because you're broke. No. You might be broke right now, but situations change.
And I've not always been broke. We were buying a house and we had a truck and stuff. You know?
You're just broke right now.
But I'm broke right now.
There you go. But I will say, speaking of red flags, which I've already told you before, if you don't have a bank account,
I don't have a bank account.
that's a red flag.
You don't have a bank account?
That's a red
Why
flag.
not?
Because I owe too much money everywhere.
If you don't have a phone plan, if it's just a prepaid, that's a red flag.
I have a phone plan. I need to switch though. I'm paying like $200 for 2 lines. That's way too much.
You must be with Verizon.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like Mint
Go to
Mobile or
T-Mobile.
some shit.
Go to T-Mobile.
Yep. Any good?
T-Mobile.
How much do you pay with T-Mobile?
I pay for 3 lines and 2 internets. I pay $270
for all that. Mm-hmm. Put me on your plan.
It's like $50 to add a line, dude. It's not even bad.
Really? On Verizon, back in the day, it used to be on the one girlfriend I had before my girlfriend I got married with. I got
your ex-wife.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not used to saying these things. Ustedes que tienen varios. You guys have 2 ex-husbands. By the time I get to my second
I only
ex-wife,
have one ex-husband. Okay. That's my ex-boyfriend. You know, hay términos.
Oh, okay.
Entonces el primer güey fue mi esposo. Now he's my ex-husband. Y ahora este otro güey is my ex-boyfriend.
Baby daddy.
By the way,
they're both
ex-baby daddy.
But I don't like
that. But I feel
term.
like you can't call baby daddy if you were married, especially. Yeah.
I don't like that term. I hate it.
It's just my kid's dad. I don't like that.
The father of my daughter.
Yeah, I don't call my ex my baby mama. It's like, no, we were married.
Yeah, you were married.
It's
yeah,
my
exactly.
Kid, it's my kid's mom.
Yeah. When I get mad, then I'll be like, the stupid baby daddy.
No, I don't say that. I'll be like, pinche vieja estúpida. But I won't call her a baby mom. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
You have to have standards.
It's came out maybe twice.
So the red flags, things like that. Que no se puedan valer por sí mismo.
Those are the things like I'm like, absolutely not. Yeah. There was a guy, I actually just recently blocked him completely. I knew him in person. We'd go to dances all the time. Not together, but we'd go to dance and we'd meet up there and then, we'd dance together, whatever. Hang out afterwards. He's cool, but he reminded me so much of my ex-husband.
Oh, yeah.
One. And then 2, like, there was like, he would always be, I was very clear on my intentions. I said, I don't want to date you. Like, I don't want anything more than that. But you're so amazing. You're this and this and that and that. Cool. I'm glad you think highly of me, but I don't think highly of you. Okay? The guy was maybe my height, which is fine. Like, the height wasn't a problem. He was half my size.
Skinny, scrawny little fella.
Yes, he was half my size. And I'm like, that is one thing.
Digo, people don't know I'm as short as I am because, like, on videos that I post and stuff, I don't look small because I'm not skinny. Yeah. Like, I'm so glad I'm not skinny. I'd rather be stocky like I am.
Dude,
Pa no verme chiquito.
There's probably only been one guy that I've been with that is skinny that I'm not unattracted to. But any skinny guy that I just am not attracted to skinny men.
Well, that's crazy because, like, especially, like, you can't imagine, like, laying down with a skinny guy, like, his little arms around you.
I would... Okay, I'm not
his
a
little
big
legs
girl.
straddling you.
I'm not a big girl.
But you're not a tiny girl.
But I got hips.
You got some body.
Yes. And I will, like, you can't do nothing when you're on top with a skinny guy. You really can't. I swear to God, I've been there.
You tried.
I've tried. Guilty.
You ever been with a scrawny guy?
It doesn't happen.
Have I ever been? Yeah, I have, and I know it was
Tampoco
just like
tampoco pudiste hacer
No,
nada.
No.
you can't even go up. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's
No
just
se puede hacer-
facts.
Like, I just feel like I'm gonna break him.
Yes.
You know, like
yes.
sentarte. And
I bet
it's
he
gonna-
feels that way too. He's like,
And I'm like, I'm not like, I don't think I'm fat, and I like my body, and I'm okay. I'm comfortable with me.
yeah.
But I like to be with a skinnier guy than me. No.
Tiene
No.
que tener algo,
Carne.
Yeah.
carne para
Yeah.
agarrar.
Go, how was that? It looked like you're driving a truck. Oh, shit. What are your red flags, Itzel?
Cuando se empiezan a comportar como like they're demanding like where I'm at, you know, just like so early. I'm like, no, like you don't deserve to know where I'm at. Like I'm gonna do whatever I want. Like we're not even to that, you know, stage. Or cuando son muy controladores, cuando I think for me it's that, or when they get too lovey-dovey at the beginning. Because like my ex was like that at the beginning, and at the time I thought it was like.
What do you mean lovey-dovey? Like
I
sending
fall
you
for
flowers
that
and shit?
Like, boom.
Or what do you mean? What do you mean, like sending you flowers and shit, or what?
No, not sending me flowers. My ex didn't send me flowers that early on. But more so like, oh my gosh, like I see myself with you forever. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I fall for
romanticote.
that shit bad.
no, like
You're a romantic at heart,
I
honey.
am.
Yeah.
I am such a romantic. Yes.
Like I am too, pero when it's like too soon, like not even 2 dates into, you know, just like talking
Yeah,
to this
and they're
person
already
and like
head over heels for you.
when he's already envisioning his whole life with me, and I'm like, wait a minute, like you don't even know me. Like, why are you envisioning your life with me?
I hate when you haven't met them in person
Oh, wow.
and they do that.
That's happened to you?
Yeah,
That's
oh yeah, all
crazy.
the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And I'm
Like just start talking, especially like that freaking Facebook app, dude. Like
like I met a guy on Facebook, and like, or when they have una ex and they have kids with that ex, which that's not an issue, but when all they talk about is the ex, and I'm like, go back with her then if you miss her so much, you know. Entonces me pasó así, like recently I went on a date with this guy, and he just like, I feel like he wanted a therapist or something, but he just let it all out, like all of it, and I was just like,
shit.
cool, all right.
The guy that uses you as a therapist, that's a huge red flag, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, you know, thank you for like telling me whatever. I mean, why do I want to fucking know? I don't you know, like me vale verga. But like, thank you for telling me this. But then to me, that's just like, I don't need a.
And here I am playing therapist with every single guy I meet.
All
Like,
her red flags, you're like, I'm in with that, dude.
Like, por ejemplo, like when I go on a date with someone, like I let them know beforehand. Yes, I have kids, and this is what I do. But I don't like to bring in like I let them know that I have kids, but I don't like to bring everything into
Right.
that.
Yeah,
because,
Just so
like,
they know up front, but you're not going to sit there and tell them your problems
my
with your
everything.
kids and your,
Yeah,
I need a
no.
babysitter and all this shit. No.
Yeah, no, because they don't need to know that. Like, I'm probably not even gonna see this guy.
Yeah.
Around, you know, again. So why do I have to tell him everything about my, you know, whole?
Si se da con el tiempo, they might end up being part of that a la muy larga.
Like the guy that I'm talking to, I met him on the Facebook dating app last year in December, and I told him, you know, hey, I have kids, and that was that. And then we started talking, we stopped talking, we started talking again, and it hasn't been until recently that like he knows more of, you know, Emilia, and her name, and for her birthday, he's like, oh, wish her happy birthday for me, you know, but like muy distante, like it wasn't like hey, these are all my kids here. Do you want to get to like
No,
just
hell no.
very.
That's another thing. I think that's a huge red flag for me. Is like when they have kids and they want you to meet them right away.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
Like I don't let anybody meet my kids until for a while. Like there was a guy that I did date, and he started coming around when he knew he wasn't supposed to, and like I still wasn't strong enough at that moment. Like I had boundaries, but I didn't set them. You know?
Okay.
And so I would say this is what I expect, but I didn't like make that like, no, you have to follow it, you know? And so no, dude, that was the one thing I like regret to this day, that I let him come around. I mean, he never did anything to my kids or anything, but I'm just saying, like, I never let that happen again.
Yeah. So when they wanna, por ejemplo, yo no lo dejo, but when they do it to me, it had to be sometime this year, like around May or something. And in March, I met this guy over Facebook dating app, whatever, right? We talked and he told me what he wanted. I told him what I wanted. And we're like, okay, let's kind of continue to talk and see where this goes. And then my grandpa passes away. He sends me a message and I'm like, hey, like right now, like I'm not in a place, to be talking to someone. He's like, that's fine. I'm going to give you your time, which he did. And then we started talking again. Pero ya cuando regresé and we started talking again, he bought me lunch one time and I was like, oh, so sweet. He bought me lunch, he sent it to me lo mandó, whatever. Y ya he was like, hey, let's go on a date. And I was like, okay, yeah. So I was expecting him to like set up a date, because like, you want to take me out? Okay, show me, like, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Entonces, it was a weekend and he's like, hey, you want to hang out tonight? And I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And he lives in Downey, and that's like a 30-minute drive maybe, which I don't mind driving. That's not an issue for me. But después me dijo, hey, like I have soccer practice. I'm going to get off at a certain time. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So he gets home and he's like, okay, do you want to come over? And I was like, no.
Oh.
And he's like, come on, we can just have, yo le dije, ¿qué vamos a hacer? He's like, we can have a few drinks. And I'm like, no.
There's the drink thing again.
Yeah, and then he was just like, come on, ándale, vente. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm going to stay home. Y he got mad and I was like, like I need to drive home. Like, I can't do that. Like, especially I have never met you before. Like, I'm not going to just show up to your house.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, no te preocupes, you can stay here at home, at my house. And I was like, oh, hell no. Like, never, like I'm not staying at your house.
Right.
And so then, ya no llegué. So sí se molestó. But then the next day, we were talking again. We texted a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I could kind of tell that he was, like, molesto because I didn't go to his house.
Right.
And so the next day, I was like, hey, like, are you upset? Is something wrong? And he was like, well, he's like, I was supposed to get my children today, and I gave up my time to hang out with you. I was like, why would you give up your time? You know?
Oh, hell no.
No, I was like, no. Like, I would never give up my time. Like, I have
That's
my
manipulation.
Day. Yeah.
That's manipulation.
Like, te sintieras mal.
Yeah, and I was like, no,
you're the bad guy.
No.
You didn't ask him to.
Yeah. Yeah, and after he said that to me, I was just like, okay, that's fine. Like, okay, I hope you find what you're looking for. Te vaya bien, whatever. But, like, me, like, I'm not gonna give up my time with my, with my daughter, with my kids, whatever, to go hang out with a guy. Like, I make the time that I have, because yo también, like, I work full time. I work a lot sometimes, but anyway, I work and then I'm going to school, and traffic in California is terrible, so then that makes up for it. And so I only have certain time, that I can hang out with someone. And so the little time that I can, give you, that's the only time. Yeah. Right. But if you're gonna, like, be giving up your time with your children, like, no, I don't do that. Like, no. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's a huge red flag.
Yeah. So, no.
Yeah. No. I've been talking to someone, like, for a few months. I think I said I went on a date with him. And the first date or meet was, I think he thought I was a catfish. Oh. And never heard of me. And I'm like, this is a small town, dude. How did you not hear about me? Especially because you're Hispanic. Oh, wow. And he's like, no, I never heard of you. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, he's like, I'd like to meet you before we go on an actual date. Oh. And I was like, okay, cool, yeah. Like, where do you want to meet? And he's like, well, we can go meet at this store, outside, whatever. We meet for 15 minutes and boom, like the second I drive off, he's like, I really want to take you on a date now. And so I'm okay with that, and then we went, like, on a drink date. It wasn't alcohol. Mm-hmm. We went, like, out for boba and I'm like, it was cool. We hit it off, and even they closed and we were outside shivering and talking, and
that's cute.
Yeah. And then we went on the third time we met up. I have very limited time. Very limited time. But I think what keeps me strolling on with this dude is the third date to me wasn't the greatest. Like, it was a very big turn off. But what's kept me around till still talking to him is that he's a very good dad. Oh. And
wait. No. Okay, síguele. Like, I have a question.
His schedule is the complete opposite of my schedule. And so
his schedule with his kids or what? Okay.
And so it's super hard for us to meet up. And so the one day...
That's like all my friends. Everybody that wants to hang out is like, I have my kids, and then they have their kids.
Yeah. No, so like he gets every single weekend with his kids. Oh. And I get only one weekend with my kids. And then I have them all week. And so like it's super hard. There was only one time like a month ago or more than a month ago where they got to leave a day early with their dad because they didn't have school on a Friday. So then we met up that Thursday and he gets his kids Friday night. And yeah, that's the only time like we actually had a date. Oh, wow. But yeah, that's super hard. But I find it
What'd you guys do?
We went to the movies. Yeah.
What'd you guys watch?
We watched.
Did you forget? You weren't paying attention?
No, I did pay attention. It was the Joker movie. Like,
did you like that?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
He didn't like it either.
I liked it. I think.
Really?
It wasn't as good as the first one, but it tied some loose ends.
Yeah. I mean, it was okay.
Is that what I've heard?
Yeah, but I think the musical part. The musical part made sense to me. Everybody was like, "Why was it?" I'm like, "Porque está loco el güey." Y se imagina que está cantando. I thought it was good.
I thought, like it wasn't horrible. It just wasn't like the other movie was great.
It wasn't as good as the first one.
Yeah.
So
but that's because the first one was great because I don't talk about movies now. The first one was great because you didn't know all the stuff behind like his mind shit. Right. The second one, there's no more mystery. You just want to know what happened. Anyway, what were you saying?
I was gonna ask. I'm like, you recently posted on when was it on Instagram or a TikTok maybe about a guy that you bumped into him or something. And you're like, oh, find this mystery guy. And then post it.
I am still in search of this man, this chocolate man. Well, we don't have a lot of that here in Idaho Falls. And this guy was so handsome.
Oh, really?
And he had a little boy.
Oh, okay.
And I had my kids with me. I had just picked them up from their dads. And we went out for ice cream. And we walk in, and as he was walking in with his son, I was getting out of the car, and I was like, let's go. And then he was, like, in line already. He never looked behind him, so he didn't see me. And then he had his son sitting down while he was in line, and I had my kids, and there was a person right between us. And then finally when he paid, and he turned around, and he saw me, and he, like, had a big smile, and I had a big smile. And I was like trying to record him, but I couldn't because I was like, everybody's gonna see, you know. And then I'm like, I can't talk to him because my kids are here, and he has his kid. Yeah. But then I was like, I need to find him.
What a creep!
He looks
acting
single.
Like she's texting like that.
Yeah, he looks single, but who knows?
Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that when you're trying to pretend like you're on your phone, but you're like,
yep, that's what I was
trying to get the good angle.
That's what I was doing. But I mean, if he's single, I'm still looking. If he's not single, I'm sorry.
If he's not single, if he's not single, he's probably still down. To be fair.
Well, I'm not.
If a guy has a wife, is that a red flag?
It is. What I posted the other day. They're asking you if you're single when they're not even single.
Actually, recently so there's this guy that is from Idaho Falls. So if you listen to this, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
They
need to just say their name and everything. No,
Is he one of our?
I have never.
No, we're gonna chill out on the names because I had to take a name out of a recent one.
No, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's from Idaho Falls, and like I've always known of him, but nunca había hablado con él.
Is it the dude that lives down there though?
Yeah,
that you were telling me about.
Yeah. And so, he would always like react to my posts, you know. And I was like, okay, whatever. Y luego, he sent me a meme or something on Instagram, and I reacted to it. And then we started talking. And, bueno, resulta que es de aquí, vive allá. He lives like maybe 30 minutes away from me, 20, if anything. And we started talking, and then I asked him if he was like single now, and he's like, no, I'm separated. And I'm like, oh, no, I cannot. Like, as a friend, maybe, friends. Pero I'm not, like...
What does that mean? Like, he's probably going to get back together, but he wants something to kill time with? Or what the fuck does that even mean?
I don't know. But to me, like, if you're not fully divorced, then, like...
If you're not actually single. If you can't say I'm single and you have to say I'm just separated.
Yeah, because, like, how do I not know that you're fucking your wife?
Yeah.
Because literally, she's your wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or that you live with her. Like,
Or they use that as an excuse all the time. Like, oh, well, we're just separated. We're separated, but we're not together no more. Like, do you know how many times that happens to me?
Last year. Remember that girl I was talking to last year that was like, oh, well, actually, we're getting divorced. Well, actually, we're just separated. Well, actually, we're still in the same house, but I sleep in a different room. It's like, bitch.
I had a guy that used when he found out that I had gotten divorced, he started hitting me up all the time, and I know him personally. There's a thing about me is that I don't add anybody on Facebook unless I know them personally, and this guy I've known for a long time, and he goes, yeah, would you get mad like if I sent you flowers on your birthday to your work? And I was like, I won't be mad, but your wife will. And he's like, what? Like, I'm not married. I'm like, pero están juntos, you know, like you live together. And I'm like, and he's like, well, yeah, well, we're just together for the kid.
I know.
And I'm like, bullshit, dude. Like, I'm like, if you really didn't want to be with her, like, you wouldn't be there. Like, I know you're wealthy. Like, you can afford your own place. Don't play with that bullshit with me. I'm like, I was separated for 8 months with my husband. We still lived together in the same house. We slept in separate rooms. And not once did somebody know that I was getting divorced.
You didn't go around telling people.
I didn't first go around telling people. And second, I didn't even try to hook up with anybody or talk to anybody. You know, no man knew. There was a couple friends that knew, like, towards the end of my divorce. But nobody knew, especially guys did not know that I was getting divorced. Because I was like a freaking... What do you call that?
Vultures.
Yeah, vultures. The minute everybody found out I was divorced, like, even his family and friends, dude, like, it was a whole big talk in Blackfoot, like, ahí viene la carne fresca.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was just going to say that. I saw a meme like that.
Dude.
It's this little goat, this little sheep, y todos los lobos se le están comiendo.
Yeah.
And it says name of the painting is La Nueva del Jale. It's like, hell yeah. I miss work. I miss having a job where the chicks work too, though.
Well, but dude, the sad part is that all those people talking and saying that, like, call me fresh meat, were his family.
Oh, Jesus.
And his, like, cousins and, like, people that know him, people that used to work with him. And I'm like, that's disgusting. First of all, I would never. Like, another thing, like, I don't know about you, but I grew up with a lot of, like, couples that were together when I was in high school, and like they were together and now they're not together, and all the guys are hitting me up now, and I'm like, fuck you guys. Like, I was friends with your wife or your ex, you know, like I was friends with both of you. Like, do not even. That's disgusting. I think that's the shadiest shit ever. Yeah, and it's not cool. Like, nope, we were friends before, like, we keep it that way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking... Ahí así las echan mucho.
¿Allá qué?
Las echan mucho los vultures, los pilotos, man. They're just waiting for you to be single and shit.
No, but it's funny because, I don't know, like, I talk about all of this stuff, you know, like, all these men, but nobody really wants something serious, you know?
I see. I don't want anything serious. Well, actually, it's not that I don't want anything. It's just like...
You honestly, just haven't been...
I think that's why guys end up lying, though, because... I don't want anything serious, but if a guy says they don't want anything serious, girls are not going to take you serious, like not even going to look at you.
Oh no, no.
If a girl straight up tells you that you don't want anything serious, that's my type of girl.
No.
But they don't say it. Everybody lies.
Nope.
Everybody fucking lies, Maria.
I've been in situations where I've told the guys, like, hey, I don't want something serious. Like, we're cool. We can, you know, link up. That's it. That's all where it goes. They always end up catching feelings.
Oh, like that guy wow. You guys date a bunch of pussies then,
like
is what
that
you're
guy,
saying.
I was just telling you.
Dude, if I had some chick tell me that, I'd have it made.
Do you know how many times, like, I've been so done with men, but there's just one benefit you get out of them, and I've been okay with that, and I'm straight up, like, I'm an adult. I'm freaking in my 30s. Benefit? You know the benefit.
What?
The benefits.
Oh, I've never been with a guy. What's the benefit?
You're missing out.
Well, I was going to recommend you guys, like, see, if you're done with guys, go to girls. Women are beautiful creatures, dude.
I mean, at least not for me, no.
I couldn't.
I love women, dude.
I'm sorry. I am too straight.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind, like, I think, you know, trying something different. But, like...
I couldn't even try.
I just... No.
I'm too straight.
Good. I like my guy that I hang out with and talk to, and he's treating like little princess, and I like that.
See, yeah, no, honestly, I mean, I think maybe you guys are just dating too many. Not just you guys, but I think, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe there's too many pussies out there. You guys call them princesses, but it's like they're being pussies.
I don't know, dude. Like, this guy, I was straight up with him. I said, hey, like, I don't want a relationship. I'm not attracted to you that way. Like, this is all, you know. Actually, he was super, like, respectful right away, you know, because we had a common couple together there at my house. And I said, hey, like, why are you sleeping on the couch? and he's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, you can go sleep on my bed. And he's like, oh my God, you're so nice. Like, I've always known you were so nice, but I didn't think you were going to come sleep on the couch so I could sleep on your bed. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, come sleep on the bed with me.
He didn't get the...
He didn't know. Like, he was so respectful, okay? And so I was like, and he's like, I'm sorry, like, does this make you uncomfortable? I'm like, no, like, freaking hug me. Like,
he just wasn't,
like, nobody touches me, you know, like, freaking
he just wasn't catching
like,
on.
he just was, like, it was somewhere else, dude. And yeah, and then I told him, I was like, I don't want a relationship. Then freaking next day, dude, he sends me 24 roses to my work. Wow. And then I was like, dude, I told you, like, this is not happening between us, like, you know. And then the next, like, I don't know, week, like, can I come over? And I'm like, no, you can come over. Now I'm ready, you know? And then, well, you can come over to me over here. He lives with his mom. and then he sends me, like, a big 30 freaking tacos shaped in a heart. Okay, and then it's like every day.
Were they good? Were they from a good place?
I don't even know where they were from, and they were good. My kids ate them. Everybody that worked around me, like the girls working for me, I fed everybody. I fed the competition. There was 30 tacos. Like, I mean, how could I not? You know, and
that's cute though.
And then it's just like, all the time, like, I miss you. And I'm like, dude, don't talk to me like that. I'm telling you, like, that's not where this is going. And then it's like, okay, I quit replying to his messages, and it's every day. I mean, I'll show you where it's like he's talking to himself. Like, I blocked him like 2-3 weeks ago, and he changed his name because I went to show, like, my friend. I was like, I finally blocked him.
He changed his name.
He changed his name because it shows
up. Gabby now?
He shows up as something else on my freaking thing. And so I'm like, that's not his name. And yeah, he just was talking to himself, like, estás hermosa, me encantas. Like, can I see you?
I saw those. She showed me them.
Yes, I did, huh?
Yeah,
I did.
Just the other day, like on Monday, I think.
Yes, it was. And then he was just like, estoy solo, like, I'm cold. And I'm like, pues agarra una cobija. I did. I told him.
I'm cold. I need to clip my nails.
And dude, this has been over 2 years ago, the last time I
really
seen him.
need to trim my mustache.
And he still doesn't, like, he don't stop. It's at least once or twice a week. And I was like, okay, I'm done. Like, we're good. We're not even going to, I don't know how you can be so consistent with.
Yo soy bien mamona. Cuando me mandan mensajes, I'm like, ay, ven, es que tengo frío. Ah, no. Lo siento mucho, cómprate un calentón. Tápate con tu cobija.
Well, that's what I said. I was like, I'm like, yo tengo aquí mis hijos. Like, my kids are right next to me. They're warming me up. Like, compra una cobija. Like, buy a blanket.
Yeah. I always say stuff like that to them.
It's just, dude, I was straight up with him. And with a couple others, too. Like, it's just, I know what I want. And when I, like, meet somebody and I know that that's not what I want with them, like, I'm straight up. I'm not, I know... I'm honest. And so I wish that people were honest with me, you know, with their intentions, because it sucks when they paint this beautiful picture of like what your life's going to be with them, how they want.
Not willing to follow through on that.
No. And
that's hard to follow through. You shouldn't be promising those things. You should just be doing those things if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the time you're in it, like you never even promised it. You just did it. Instead of promising and failing.
I think the worst part is like when they meet like, your circle and they'll be like, oh, like I can't imagine my life without her, or like just stuff like that, and it's everybody's like rooting for you, you know.
Wow.
And then it ends up like, no, I just hate liars.
Yeah, so do I.
And manipulators.
Yeah, narcisistas.
Mhm.
And
This is a chest
This
grab.
episode's gonna be like longer than what we planned.
I wanted to talk about what you said. What was you taught me the term breadcrumbing.
Yes, breadcrumbing.
Do you know what that is, Itzel?
Yeah, have you heard of it?
Dime.
So breadcrumbing is like when somebody doesn't want to like something serious with you, but they keep like feeding you little by little. Like they'll talk to you one day and fine, and then the next day they'll quit texting you or talking to you for 2-3 days or a week, and then like they'll like send you another, like they'll like your story, or they'll send you a message, hi, how are you, and then you reply, and then they don't reply back. You know, it's just like they keep feeding you just enough just to keep you interested.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But they don't like want anything serious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have I had that before?
Have you?
No, I think not recently. No, not at all. I think después de lo de mi ex, and I think I told you that I was going to, I mean, I'm still, but I was going to therapy a lot, and I kind of just learned all of these things. So, like, no cualquier güey viene y, like, me emociona.
Te mueve el tapete.
Ajá, no. I'm just like, I look hasta por donde no, like, oh, you're not really showing me your red flags right now, but, like, let me, you know, déjame ver si tienes o no. Ya no es tan fácil. Ya no soy tan fácil. I'm just kidding.
You've learned.
I've learned,
You've learned your
but
lesson.
with like the guy that I'm talking to, like, no, we text all the time. We talk on the phone. When I'm like driving, when we hang out, and if I go out to see him y ya es tarde, like on the way home, like I'll be talking on the phone with him until I get home. And once I get home, it's like, okay, good night. And we just keep texting.
That's so cute.
Every morning I get a good morning text.
I had like a situationship
It's
kind
a
of thing.
situationship,
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
with somebody, it was like 6 weeks long. And then all of a sudden, like, boom, just ghosts me.
Oh.
And then 2 days later, messages me, like, what happened? You're not going to try for us? And I was like, what? Look, I screenshotted our conversation, and I'm like, you never replied to my message. He's like, yeah, but I thought, like, we were, like, bigger than that. Like,
Yeah.
and, like, your ego is so big, like, you weren't going to keep talking to me? And I was like, what? What, sir? Like, I'm not going to chase you, first of all. And I was very clear, you know, and he just, like, acted like, no, I really want this with you. Everything's great. And then we, like, hang out last time. And then he ghosted me again. I found out 2 weeks after that, he got married.
Isn't that crazy?
And
People treat marriage
I'm telling you,
tires
we were
or some
hanging out
shit.
every single day.
That's crazy.
If I had my kids, he would go hang out with me at work before I had to go get my kids. Like, we were hanging out every single day. He would take me out on dates all the time. He would spend the night with me and everything. Like, on the days I didn't have my kids, he would spend the night with me. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I would say this is a situationship, I guess. But
Yeah.
And there has been times where we're like, okay, this is getting too much, to the point where,
How
like,
long have you guys been talking?
I've been talking. I've known him since December of last year,
Oh, okay.
and we talked. Well, when we started talking, I mean, I had dated a few other men, you know, here and there, but nada like consistente. So then when I started talking to him, like, we started talking on Facebook dating app, and we talked for like 2 days there, and then we switched. He asked me for my number, and we started texting. And he's like, hey, like, I want to come and meet you. And I was like, okay. But it just so happened that week I was really busy. Y le dije, I can this date, le dije, but I can only, like, see you for max 30 minutes. And he's like, okay, that's fine. No worries. So he drove for where he lives. It's, like I said, it's a 30-minute drive, but with traffic, it was like an hour and a half maybe. And so he drove from there, and we met up at Starbucks. And, like, we literally sat there for 30 minutes. And we talked. Y le dije, okay, I gotta go. And he's like, okay, that's fine. And I was like, all right. So we left, cada quien por su lado. We kept texting, and he's like, do you want to hang out with me tomorrow? I was like, yeah. So then I had therapy on that Thursday. I met up with him at Chick-fil-A. I mean, no era grande cosa, but like the fact that he was making the effort.
The effort. It doesn't matter if it's fancy or freaking, you know, a
It's the
sandwich.
time spent and time planned and shit. Yeah.
And so, we went to Chick-fil-A, and we spent some time together. It was great. Then again, home, kept texting. Friday comes around. I ended up going to LA that day and then drove back. That was the first time I had a buzz ball and like me andaba muriendo. And I was like, hey, you know, like we can still hang out, but I'm not really feeling good. He's like, oh, you know, like no, it's okay, no worries. He gets there, he goes and pick like that was. I don't really like people picking up at my house because like no quiero que sepan, you know, like and it's like
it's always
so
better
soon
to meet it somewhere
else. But I don't know, just like me dio la confianza. So he went to go pick me up. Llegó with some Advil and some water.
Aww.
Then I was like, oh, okay. So we went out to eat.
How thoughtful.
I know. And I was like, oh, okay, you know. And so like after talking for like 2 weeks, I think, I was like, hey, like what do you expect from them? I was like, what do you want? And he's like, well, you know, like I'm not like we can see where it goes and just, you know, take it slow, you know. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, like I'm not in a rush.
Dude, it's not hard to be honest. It
Yeah,
is not hard
it's
to
not.
have that
And-
conversation.
And he was like, okay, yeah, we can, you know, kind of take it slow. And I was like, yeah, sure. But then New Year's Eve comes around, and you know he's Muslim, so he does have sus cosas. They do party a lot. He does party a lot, and he does, well, not a lot, but he does drink a lot. And so he was like, hey, like I'm gonna do this, like to this day, todavía me dice. But that day he was like, hey, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go to a party in San Diego, come back and do this other party. And I was like, yeah, it's fine, you know, you do you, like it's fine. And then we just kind of like got not to an argument, but just like a disagreement, I guess. And we stopped talking, for like a month and a half around there, completely. Well, yeah, like he was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'm not sure, like what I want, you know, like maybe I just need to figure out my life before I get into a relationship. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, no worries, like, you know, no hard feelings, it's okay. I'm glad you told me, you know, so I'm not wasting my time with you. And he's like, okay, cool. Yeah, cada quien por su lado. Never talked to him again. Like I don't have him on like Instagram. I have him on Snapchat, and he would like, you know, reply to my stories, whatever. But it was just like very like distante.
Right.
And then we
Breadcrumbing.
Just to make sure he's
Very
still alive.
breadcrumbing of him.
Nah, yeah, like I've been
I'm still alive.
distante. Like no, casi no hablábamos. Like after that last message that I sent him, like, hey, you know, like, thank you, that's fine. I hope you find what you're looking for, whatever. Like he didn't text me anymore, and I didn't text him anymore because like I had nothing else to say to him.
Right.
And so like, para qué seguir platicando if like, you know.
Yeah.
And so then we stopped talking. And then, te digo, I posted something, and then we started talking again. And ever since then, it's just been more consistent. Like, les digo, like, we talk all the time. We hang out. He's the only person that I hang out with, like, really. We'll go watch movies. We like to go watch movies a lot, but we'll go to the drive-in. We'll go out and eat. We'll go have a few drinks here and there.
Hey, drive-ins are year-round there where you live?
So far they have.
Todo el año? That's
Yeah.
cool. I never even thought of that because I love the drive-in.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
we're so
really
limited time here that you can go to the drive-in.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, so we go do that, we hang out. His sister just got married last week, so he's like, hey, do you want to come shopping with me? I need to go get some shoes. And I was like,
Aw.
yeah,
Did you
sure."
go to the wedding or not that?
No, because like solamente pueden
just
llevar a sus like
Muslims or what?
parejas, los que están casados,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
you know. And so he like, like his culture and stuff, he has left it very clear, you know, his culture.
And
how
why
it
would you
is.
not want to respect that? Yeah.
Huh?
And so I said, and why would you not want to respect
Exactly,
that?
yeah. So like él fue muy claro desde el principio, like, hey, you know, like I still live with my parents. My parents are like my number one priority, and like I help them. And
Red flag. Just kidding.
Unless he's Muslim. Asterisk, unless he's Muslim.
Yeah.
Unless you're just in it for the good time, you know?
Yeah, no, but like I mean, like yo le digo, okay,
Do
you
you
know, I
think
guess
this guy-
Hispanics are kind of the same.
But do you think this guy, if push comes to shove, he had to get his own place and like, if si quisieran hacer vida, you think he'd be capable of providing his own place or your own place?
So,
Because I think that's the thing. Like, is the guy capable, but he's with his parents for other reasons? Or is he with his parents because he couldn't be on his own because
no,
he can't
he can
make
be
it
on
on his
his
own?
own. Yeah, but he's the el que los mantiene básicamente. Like, you know, his parents are older too. They're like in their 80s, I want to say. Ya
Jesus
están
Christ.
viejitos los señores. Ya
Fuck,
están
that's
grandes.
old as fuck.
Yeah, ya están grandes. Entonces, like, he is the one that takes them, like, his...
How old is he?
He's 31.
Oh.
They had kids old then,
They
like in their
did, yeah.
50s?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, question for you. So, if he's Muslim, like a lot of Muslims will only like be with somebody in a really serious relationship with Muslims only. So
he has had he has dated Hispanic Latinas before.
Right.
He was with a Mexican a while back, I guess. Pero lo que él me cuenta a mí is that so he would bring her around, but like they would just kind of be on their, like, you know, to the side. So like sus hermanas la conocían a ella como la novia, pero sus papás no la conocían como la novia. Sus papás nada más la conocían como una amiga de las hermanas.
Oh.
And so, you know,
So the parents would be against it then? Like if you got serious
probably
with him,
the
he'd be...
religion, right?
the religion, I think, and that he has always told me that when we started talking, he would always tell me, you know, like, I have never brought a girl to my house, to my parents' house. Well, it's his sister's house. They live there, whatever. He's like, I have never brought a girl to my house. You know, my parents live here. Like, that's a no. Entonces, I have always respected that. I have never said, oh no, you know, take me to your house. I want to go to your house. No, like, it's always been like, okay, you know, like, él me dejó saber lo que, like, sus cosas. Okay, that's fine. And so it has never been me, like, wanting to go, you know, to his house o lo que sea. Pero sí hubo una vez donde no estaban sus papás. And he was like, I went to go pick him up because we were going to go out. And he was like, hey, like, do you want to come in? And I was like, to your house? He's like, yeah. And I was like, aren't your parents there? And he's like, no, not right now. He's like, we can just come in for a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay. And like, I literally felt like a high schooler, like going into his house because
Sneaking
I'm
in.
like, you know, like, what if his parents get there, you know?
You just
And
sat at
so-
the edge of the couch.
And like
or-
literally estaba sentada así en su sillón and he's like, it's okay, make yourself comfortable. And like son como muy serviciales. Like
Yeah.
me trajo agua, me trajo refresco. He en un plato me puso different like peanuts and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And he me los dio and I was just like, okay, like, you know, I was just kind of waiting for us to leave because like I didn't want to get in trouble and I didn't want him to get in trouble either.
Yeah.
And so so we were there for a good while, I think, and I was just like, okay. And then finally we left and he's like, oh, he has a Ring camera, so he's like, oh, we could have stayed longer, my parents aren't home yet. And I was like,
Oh.
I guess.
Did you ever sneak out when you were young, like a teenager?
I
sneak
think I
out the
tried
window and
once
shit?
and
I'm like,
got
I
in
remember
trouble.
that was a huge thing with you and yeah.
I
Your
would-
boyfriend at the time?
I what?
And your boyfriend
I
at the
swear
time?
I remember it was like
no,
a big
I
thing.
wouldn't
They had
sneak out. I would not go to class. I would like
Oh.
slough.
I thought it was
To go
you
hang
that
out
had
with him?
jumped out of the window one time and you got caught. I swear it was you because
Did
no,
you
I
ever
wouldn't
do
let
any of
you-
that? I can't imagine you having...
I did.
You did?
Yes, I did. It happened like 3 times and I got caught the very last time and I
Damn.
almost died. Like they almost hung me.
Oh, you wanna what? I didn't
They were always
sneak-
kicking
they
your
pretty-
ass cuando te portabas bien. I can't imagine what they would do.
They
when you
pretty
were
much hung me. Like my dad put
Jeez.
his hands on my neck and like put me up against the
He like
door.
Darth Vader. You like... "Ah."
Yeah, no, he did that, and he's like, "You stupid whore," and my brother's like, "Do not call my sister that," because I snuck out because my brother wanted to sneak out.
Okay, yeah, I think I
No,
remember
say
you telling
that.
me
Yep,
about
and so then he like turned around and tried to punch my brother, and he was like, don't defend that whore." So when he said that, I was like, oh no. So I grabbed my dad. My dad's like 5'5". I think he's the same height as me. He's 5'5". And I grabbed him up against the wall and I was like,
Oh,
leave my
shit.
brother alone. And I told my brother,
That's crazy.
run!
There's
my
stories,
dad,
man.
my
Her
dad never
brother.
touched me after that. Like,
That's crazy
because then he
shit.
realized like, damn, she's strong. Yeah.
No, I don't think I ever did. I think it was
I was like, I swear that was you. Like,
I don't
because you
think
were
I ever
such a good girl. We were go to like we were in
You guys
church.
were church girls.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever did. I think I just
Church
got
girls
in
are the
trouble.
wildest, though.
I
Fuck.
know, tampoco.
Hell
no.
yeah, I love
I
church
just-
girls.
I just
back
got
in
in
the day.
trouble because había un grupo. No era el grupo juvenil de la iglesia, era otro grupo. And estaba like a lot of guys like want to be gangsters there. In that grupo.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
And so I got invited to a party, and I wanted to stay longer. My mom didn't want me to stay, so she like me fui con ella, me metió al carro or something like that, y pues yo por no quererme a mi casa, me salí por el otro lado de la van, because they used to have vans all the time, so I would just open one, and I me fui corriendo. I don't know, no me acuerdo. I did that. But when I was dating my ex-husband, when we were like, you know, when we started to date, a mí se me ocurrió la gran idea de invitarlo.
Maybe that's what it was. That's what it was.
A dormir a mi casa.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
That is a super cool idea. And a twin bed.
Like I've had the best sex of my life in twin beds, dude. They can't even fucking dog that shit.
And so I told my parents, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep now. They're like, okay, yeah. Close my door. Entonces le dije, okay, you know, my parents, like, I told them I'm gonna go to sleep now, like, come over. So he went into my room through my window, and so then we were just like cuddling. We weren't even doing anything. We were just cuddling there. And then my mom, she like opens the door, and there he was.
He didn't have time to hide?
He didn't have.
He didn't try. Did he try to hide?
Under
the covers?
Like, was that normal of your mom to go look in your room?
No, it wasn't normal. She
probably suspected that shit.
She probably did, and
she
it was
heard
like
something.
Not, you know.
She could smell something. She could smell a man.
When I snuck out, it was in the middle of winter, and I remember like I had just showered, and my brother's like, "Let's sneak out," because my boyfriend at the time was his cousin was best friends with my brother, and they would drink. And I would, please, let's hang out with them. And I was like, no, dude, like, I just got out of the shower. It's freezing outside. Like, there's snow.
Like, you're going to freeze your hair off.
Yeah, my hair would freeze if I'd go out with it wet.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And he's like, yes, please. And I was like, fine. And I was already really tired. So I called my boyfriend. I was like, I snuck in my parents' room, got their phone, because we didn't have phones. And so I would sneak into their room, get their phone, and then I'd call him, or text them. And then he was like, yeah, I'll pick you up at 12. 12 came around. My brother locked his bedroom door and fell asleep. So then I'm like, what the heck do I do? And his room was next to my parents.
You can't be falling asleep with her doing this shit.
I know. So then I leave. And then we lived in a little single wide trailer. And, when the heater's on and everything, like when you open the door, it goes...
Oh,
so my house, it did that.
It suctions the whole house.
Yes, it did that.
Vacuum.
My parents happened to hear.
Oh, shit.
And they knew I left. It was 2 a.m. I remember we went and got like Taco Bell and like just hanging out. Like we didn't even have sex. Okay. Like it was lame. And then he dropped me off. As soon as he dropped me off, I knew something was wrong because the light was on. And I was like, fuck, I'm in trouble. So I opened the door. And, like, the light's on, and then I hear them, I think she's home. Home.
Shit.
So, there's, like, the hallway to go to the kitchen, and then the hallway to go out the door. I come in, and then where the kitchen's at, there's a little pantry right there. I had a whole-ass blanket, dude, like, una cobija mexicana, okay? Like, the tiger and everything. Yeah, I had it. I was wrapped in it because I was so cold. It was freaking winter.
Yeah.
So, I, like, go and plop down right next to the pantry, and then like they walk by and they're like, we don't see her, where's she at? And they pass by me, and it was too late for me like sneak back in because they would have seen me. So I just like flopped down on the floor, and I was like, and then when they walk back and they're like, ahí está la cabrona,
they finally saw the blanket,
like she's right there, and I was like, what happened?
You acted like you were asleep?
I was sleeping.
Did they believe it or
and then
not?
no, hell no, they didn't believe
They're not
me.
stupid.
My mom ain't stupid. My dad probably, but my mom wouldn't. She's like, ¿Qué estás haciendo? Like, where were you at? And I was like, I was here. Like, I just woke up. I was sleepwalking. Nope. Nah, aquí te estuvimos esperando. Ya tienes 2 horas. And I'm like, oh shit, they didn't believe me.
Shit.
So I just went to my room. Vas a ver. And then
they didn't beat you up though?
Oh nope, not that night, but in the morning.
They gave you some time?
In the morning, like they knew their phone was missing.
Oh fuck.
So then my dad comes in, hija la fregada, and like he tore apart my whole room, dude. Like like the mattresses, everything I owned, like perfumes, anything, all my clothes, everything, just everywhere. That's when my brother came in, and then like he like threw me on the wall, and then my brother's like, don't do that to her, like don't hurt her. And he's like, no vas a defender una puta. And he was like, do not call my sister that. And then he tried to beat him up, and then I was like, oh no, my brother's defending me, like I gotta defend my brother, you know. But he was defending me because he knew it was his fault that I snuck out, because it wasn't even my idea to sneak out. But yeah, that was the sneaking out, and I never did it again.
I had a girl I used to sneak out, and she would always, because her mom would go to work like at midnight. She would work like midnight to noon, and she's like, by around midnight, my mom's left, and my dad usually passes the fuck out. So I'll let you know when I start heading over. So it'd always be around 1, and so I'd pull up, and I was like a block away from her house all the time, and there was a park, and I would always park right there. And then this, so I'm waiting, and like I already texted her, I'm here and shit. She's like, okay, give me a minute. And then, like, I see this other car pull up. Todo misterioso. I'm like, fuck, is this a cop? What the fuck? And he parks kind of on the other side of the block, like on the other end of the block, but like kind of facing me. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy? What the fuck? And I'm like, fuck, not que sale. Then I'm waiting. And then I finally see out of the shadows, out of the alley, you know, with the hoodie, fucking toda misteriosa también. And I'm like, all right, this is her. And so I start getting ready. And she comes in light. It's not her, it's her sister. And she gets into that other car. And they leave, and then 2 seconds later, she comes out of the shadows and gets in my car. Shit. I'm like, damn, these poor parents, dude, they have have their daughters are leaving. They think they have a nice full house of snoring girls, and most of them are out and about.
Hey, but you know what? Like, that was the last time I snuck out, and then before that, I snuck out with friends. And it was a shit show. I'm sure you were talking about the same group of people that lived across the street from me, a couple of them. Like, they were in a gang. And we were, I don't know if we went to Walmart or something, and then we were driving back, and they had BB guns, and they started shooting at the freaking neighborhood right behind Walmart at all the cars. Okay, and then
they're smart as hell.
Some big ass redneck truck, like, he starts
with
chasing,
real guns.
Yes, with real guns, starts chasing us, like, all through Moby. You guys know where Moby's at, right? Okay, so we lived in Moby, and started chasing us all through Moby, and they dropped us off, and then they kept going, and then the cops were behind too, and then they showed up at the house, like at their house across from us, and I'm like, literally, it was like La Migra. like I'm talking, we were like
big old raid.
No, we were like on our palms and knees, okay, going through like houses underneath fences and everything, just trying to, I'm like, I'm never sneaking out again. Like that.
Did you ever sneak out again?
Well, that one time, and then I got caught.
That was before?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's hard. My mom, like, y eso es lo que les digo, like, I feel like I wasn't able to do anything, go out anywhere. There was this one girl that I used to hang out with in junior high, and like I would go hang out with her. Mi mamá literalmente nos llevaba to the mall, and she would go pick us up. Like, I could not do anything.
Yeah, I wasn't even allowed.
Yeah.
My mom would pick me up from school, saw me get on the bus, and then saw me get off the bus.
Yeah, like, she was on me. And I think I remember I had a boyfriend. I was in 8th grade. So I was going to Taylorview, and he was a year older than I was. Entonces, I would always go and ride my bike. And so yo le dije a mi hermano, hey, like, let's go ride our bike together, but I'm going to meet up with my boyfriend. And, like, we literally just, like, we went to the park, and we were laying on the grass, me and him. Y se me quedó el pasto atrás. Y a mí se me pasó. Y llegué a la casa y mi mamá, oh my God,
¿con quién te revolcando?
And I was just like, I didn't do any, like, I was not doing anything. I was just, and like, I could never nada. And even I do bring it up to her to this day, because my brother, he is 28 now, I think, or 29 por ahí. And when he was in 6th grade, he would go and hang out with one of his friends, a girl. They were not dating, but it was a girl. And they were such good friends, apparently, that she would let him spend the night over at this girl's house. And I'm like, how do you let like a 13, 14, 15-year-old boy sleep over at his friend's house, at a girl, And she's like, es que son buenos amigos. And I'm like,
my friend,
boys are gross. Like, he has to be gross. Like, come on. Like, they're probably doing, no. Sus papás los cuidan mucho. And I'm like, no, like no nos hagamos mensos aquí.
Yes.
And now fast forward, my little sister, she's 18, and she
runs wild.
She is
She do
wild.
whatever she
Like
wants.
I could never relate to her. She does
Free
She-
spirit.
Yes, so much. And she'll call me like with the guy that I hang out with, sometimes we'll be out super late, and she'll like message me and she'll be like, hey, like I'm not I'm doing not naughty things, but just like things I shouldn't be doing, and can you call me an Uber, can you do this, can you do that? And I'm like, where is your mother?
Where's your mother
Why
now?
does she not know of this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
She called me the other day. She was at a party and they, cops got there, whatever. So she needed a ride home. And I was like, ¿Y tu mamá? Like, ¿no tienes madre o qué? She sneaks out of her room. And she has sneaked out of her room and my mom has known.
Mm-hmm.
Y no hace nada.
Mm-hmm.
Le vale. Pero si yo lo hubiera hecho, no.
You would have dead.
She would have been behind. She would have called the cops herself.
Mm-hmm.
But with
Yep.
her, it's like, pues, God,
She'll be fine.
She'll be fine. Que ella se haga bolas, whatever. And I'm like, you should have been like that with me. Like, maybe I would have gotten married so soon, Like, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. I don't know, this whole dating thing. It's...
Dating in your 30s. Did you even think you were going to be dating in your 30s?
No.
I thought I was
No.
going to be married.
Married for the rest of my life.
The rest of my life. Have my house, my
White
kids.
picket fence, all that shit.
All that shit, yeah. But then God was like, oh, hell no.
Let's take a turn, girl.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let me give you another baby daddy. Here you go.
There you go.
Thank God I don't have one of those.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. All three
You're
in
lucky.
with one. Yep.
I'm going to get my vasectomy soon.
I'm gonna get my tubes tied.
Are you really?
Yeah, I am.
Because remember, I was lying when I said it was next month. But I do have now in January was their next opening for a consult first. And then I'll...
So okay,
probably
somebody
February I
asked
get
on
snipped.
Facebook and I tagged you. What was it? The second Tuesday of every month, or what
Yeah.
was it? Okay,
Yeah,
I thought that's what
the
I.
Pocatello Free Clinic ISU.
Uh-huh.
That's
So
what.
you're going to let a student. Is that what it is, right?
They said I was meeting with a doctor.
Oh.
I'm assuming maybe students just sit in, maybe help or something. I would let them. Who cares? It's not like it's just good luck. Like there's like it's the same thing with waxing. Like I've gotten my waxing done by students, and there's always someone there helping them, making sure they don't fucking
Oh,
pull
yeah.
my
We can
balls
talk
off.
about one
You
thing
get your
maybe.
shit waxed?
Yeah, I've gotten my shit waxed before.
Dang.
I don't right now because nobody sees me naked these days. But so so why spend money on it? But yeah, I like getting waxed.
Yeah.
The thing is, when I lived by myself, I had enough time to like every week just shave everything. I manscaped the fuck out of myself, fucking todo. But once I was living with my ex-wife and with my kids, it's like ya no te da tiempo. You can't spend an hour and a half in the bathroom by yourself.
If they love you how you are.
Yeah, but I don't do it. I like being all hairless.
Me too.
Yeah.
That's a thing for me. I think we've talked about this on another podcast about like my first husband. He would make me shave every single day
Wow.
because he's a pedophile.
Oh.
So I found that out like at first, like it was kind of annoying, I mean, I shave and I'm clean and I'm, escaped down there, whatever, in every area. Landscaped. But
Escaped.
I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it was annoying that he would like I had to do it. And then when I was with my second husband, when I got pregnant, like you can't reach and you can't see anything, and I'm like, please shave me because I have to doctor's appointment, or when I was gonna have the baby, I was like, we gotta go to the hospital, can you please? That's disgusting. Like, don't make me do that. And he's like, you're a woman, I don't want to
even help you out with
yeah
that.
like no, he would be like, you're a woman, I don't want to see a little girl. And then that's like I was like, okay, but I still have to be
But it's okay. It's for you, not for someone else.
Yeah, I do
And that's
it
how
for
I feel
me.
about it. Like I like being on.
Yeah, I do it for me too.
The last time I went, like I had already been. It was post separation, post divorce, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't had sex in like a handful of months by then.
And so it's never happened. Like I've never gotten a boner while I'm getting waxed.
Now it's been a handful of years.
It's been 2 years. I wouldn't call
had
2.
sex in 2 years?
In 2 years.
Damn.
Y
Estoy estresada.
What do you think I am? I'm just chilling.
Already myself.
¿Sabías que allá en se llama Aremení? Venden vaginas? Cómprate una.
Come on. If I'm going to buy a pussy, I'm going to buy a real one. You know, there are prostitutes out there. I'd rather do that than stoop to the fucking, like, buy a rubber thing to stick my cock in.
They feel like real, no?
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever stuck your dick in a pussy?
I don't have a dick.
Then you don't know, dude.
But I don't know who had one time. And they're like, yeah, they feel like a real one. And I was like,
They don't. I got one when I was, like, young, like, when we were just being stupid. Back in the day when, what was the other place? Carnation, when it used to be over here on Broadway.
oh, okay.
And we used to go, like, on our break from CP because it was right up the street.
Oh, my God.
And it was like, this is, like, it feels okay, but honestly, my hand feels better than this fake-ass pussy.
Because you're basically still using your hand, right?
Yeah, it's just stupid. Huh. But anyway, so I could feel, like, the lady, like, grabbing my wiener. And, like...
Hold on, what?
I'm going back to my original story, my waxing story.
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
So I hadn't, like, I
For
was
waxing,
and
okay.
I'd never gotten a boner, but this time I hadn't had sex in a long time. And so she's grabbing my dick, and I can feel her, like, grabbing my wiener with, like, the 2 fingers. But then I start feeling more fingers. I'm like, fuck, am I growing? You know, am I getting bigger? And so I look down, and I'm like, I have a boner. And so she's grabbing my hand with, like grabbing my dick with, like, all her fingers instead of just, like, the
Oh, shit.
And so I'm like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. Like, that's never happened before. She's like, it's cool. She's like, it's no big deal. She's like, if anything, it's easier like this because I don't have to stretch it. Like, the skin's all stretched out. I'm like, okay.
God.
But then, like, she starts feeling all slippery. I'm like, fuck, I'm pre-coming like a motherfucker.
Oh, my God.
And so, like, and part of the manzillion is you get your asshole waxed, too. And the first couple of times I did it, 2-3 times that I did it, I would always say no to that. And the 4th or 5th time, the lady that was doing it was like, it's part of the treatment. Like, you're already paying for it. Why not do it? Like, just do it. Like, just get over it. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. But it does get kind of weird. She's like, okay, get on all fours. And just like, yeah, you get on all fours.
I've never done
You have your head down, ass in the air, and they spread your ass. Fucking.
That's how you make us feel. Now you know what I feel.
Yeah, for real. That's exactly what I thought. And so like they put the thing, the wax strip over your ass, and then they on the sides, you know, if they have to. And I have a hairy ass.
Me hacen hacerme así con mis pies.
See?
Bring him over.
For your asshole? You know. And then maybe it's different because like of the balls.
I watch a lady on TikTok that does waxing, and she like goes through all the, you know, I've never done it, so I've never.
I think
been
maybe
to
if
anybody.
maybe with guys, maybe like I'd have to hold my balls or something. Maybe they get in the way.
Maybe, yeah.
So doggy
but a mí
style,
siempre
you're
han
right.
sido like,
Doggy style.
Well, what else would you
you
call?
know, bring your legs over here, so I have to like pull them out.
I mean, that sucks for you guys, but doggy style's where it's at.
So
We said we were going to talk about sex, so.
and so like so everybody knows like the asshole's an erogenous zone for everybody, for guys and girls. But
What does that mean?
like a zone on your body that feels good, like your nipples, your pussy, you know, a man's dick. Like, so touching those zones makes you turned on, makes you feel good. And so I'm on all fours this time, and I have a boner, and I'm pre-coming like a motherfucker all over the place.
Oh my God.
And the pressure of her putting that thing on my asshole almost made me come. I was this close to blowing my load, dude. I had to like fucking, you know, pledge allegiance to the flag type of shit, so I didn't blow my fucking load.
Like, think about your grandma.
It felt so fucking good, dude. And so then she, you know, that was the last of it. Okay, well, you know, I'll meet you up at the front. You know, I'll give you some time to get dressed and stuff. She leaves. I fucking kind of get myself together. Fucking big old fucking puddle all over the place. I'm like, fuck, I left the best tip I've ever left. I usually leave like $20. I left her almost 40 that time. I think 35 is what I had cash. I like giving the tip cash.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, cause that's like I cleaned it, like I wiped it, but I'm like, still like she's swimming in my fucking pre-cum. Like, that's the one. And I haven't been back since. And that's part of the reason. And also because of what the fuck's the point right now at this point. But and now it's been 2 years. Like I'm just gonna touch it. I'm gonna fucking all over the place. You know what I
2
mean?
years? Damn, no, I could never. That's too long.
Yeah.
You get to a point where you just, you know, I don't.
No,
big deal anymore.
yeah. You know what? Like, I think we talked about this, and I was like, I don't want to brag that you're like, I've been celibate, you know, and I'm like, I don't want to brag that I've been celibate, but honestly, like, I'm just so done with men that, like, I went, 3-4 months and I didn't feel like anything just because I think also when you have an attachment to someone, when you're like, you still have feelings for that person and, like, there's nobody even physically that can come near you and like it's just a touch. There's no, I don't know. And for me to be able to finish and for me to be able to feel anything, I have to have feelings for the person. I can't just
it's, I mean,
like, if sex just sex, like, it just doesn't, I don't feel pleasure.
That's
as
different.
much.
Different people have different things for sure. Yeah, because that's
I had somebody because we were talking about that. I'm like, I don't know about you, but like he was saying, like, the asshole, whatever, that it's, I don't know, to me it's not pleasurable. It has to take time. Like,
it does.
I don't like nobody touching me there. If it accidentally happens and it fucking hurts and then you know you keep going, you know, like, then it can become pleasurable.
Yeah. I think that's what it means with the erogenous zones. It doesn't mean as soon as someone touches your asshole, you're going to be horny. It just means that it scientifically it could be, but it doesn't mean you're going to like it because that's all based on personality.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I've never had that experience. I mean, I've experimented and I've gotten to the point where it did feel good, but I will tell you, it won't feel good in the beginning.
Como dijimos en el podcast last time, que es tú dijiste que ¿cómo dijiste de when you...
The butt sex? I remember we talked about butt sex, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you said duele rico.
Oh, sí, duele rico.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I use that because I've had girls tell me that, like, no, es que duele bien rico. It's like, hell yeah.
Okay, I think that's the thing with, like, when you get a bigger guy, like, the pleasure is different, you know, like it's kind of painful, but it feels good at the same time, and you're okay with it. Like, it hurts so good. If that makes sense. Yeah? Have you experienced?
Well, that's why Itzel likes butt sex, porque duele rico.
Well, okay, so I had, like, with my marriage, my ex-husband, I never experienced anything. Mm-hmm. It was always like, okay, we're gonna have sex.
Vanilla.
Yeah. Cada quien por su lado.
Acuéstate
para allá, yo acuéstate para acá.
Yep.
Lay on your back.
Dude, we were married to the same guy.
Seriously. Like, it was never talked about, like, hey, what do you like? What don't you like?
Nope.
Nada. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until after, like, we had talked about getting a divorce. And I think he was already, like, era por esos días que él se iba a salir de la casa. Mm-hmm. Que I went and I bought a vibrator. Mm-hmm. And so I was trying to hide it, but he found it somehow. And he was like, oh my gosh. And
at least you weren't having sex with somebody else, right?
Yeah, I was just like, well, you know, like, I got to experience, you know, like, we never did anything, like, I'm an experience on my own kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, te digo, I didn't do anything with him. It was just whatever. Mm-hmm. And then with my ex, he would bring it up, you know, more like, hey, you know, do you want to try this? Do you want to do that? And I was like, yeah, sure, like, we'll try it. So we tried it. And I was like, oh, okay, it's different. Like, yeah, it hurts, but, like, you have to work your way up. You know, you can't just, like,
for sure.
stick it in.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And we only did it a couple times. It wasn't, like, all the time tampoco. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so I was just like, oh, okay, I like this. But even now that I'm, like, single, you know, like, no, that's just, like, sí duele, pero también es como... algo sagrado, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So that's
you don't just give it to everybody.
Just don't give it to.
That's like your next husband, maybe, or some shit.
What? Hold on. What did you say?
No, not my next husband. Like, just it's.
You have to be far along in a relationship.
Yeah, like
the right guy.
You have to be comfortable. Yeah,
I have to be comfortable. Like, the guy that I'm talking to, like, I feel so comfortable, like, with everything with him, you know, and so, like, you know. It's happened, you know. But no es que voy con, you know, con todos los guys that I meet with or, like, that I've gone on dates. No, it's just, like, you just have to find the person that, you know, the right. I'm not saying, the other day I was talking to my waxer and we were talking about this and she asked me, she was like, do you see yourself with him? And I was like, I don't know, like entiendo su cultura and like I respect it and everything. I'm like, but he kind of has left it very clear that what we have going on is just like
it's not going to go anywhere serious.
It's probably not even going to go anything serious. And I respect that. It's fine. I have a great time with him whenever I do hang out with him. And she's like, well, then he's not Mr. Right, but he's Mr. Right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Yeah, he is. Like, he really is. He's just Mr. Right now. And like I say, I enjoy my time with him. I hang out with him all the time. We go out, whatever. And I think it works for me.
Yeah, as long as both of you have the exact same, like, understanding. Yeah. Then I think there's nothing wrong with that, honestly. Like, I had a little situation thing going on at Sneaky Link, I guess you could call it, over a year ago. Yeah, and we were both like, okay, let's meet up. Hey, like he knew what he was getting into, and then it's like he kept trying more, and I'm like, hey, I'm in a relationship again. Sorry. And then he checked on me. Hey, you still good? I'm still good.
That's what, and then a courtesy check.
Yeah, it was cool. It was nice. Now we've crossed paths 3 times in the last like 2 months, and the very last time I think he was in a relationship, and I'm like, that's why you haven't hit me up. Cool.
That makes sense.
Oh no, con I talk to him we talk all the time. We text. We'll talk on the phone. He like, I guess. We let each other know of like what we're doing. Hey, what do you have going on today? Oh, I have this, and you. Oh, yeah, me too. So it's kind of like a situationship, but at the same time, like, I don't know, just
it's keeping you entertained and busy.
Yeah.
You're getting that attention. I feel like
it sounds like your guy's at least like a stand-up guy. At least he's not hitting you up despite having a relationship.
Yeah, and like. The point where I'm at in my life is like that situation thing, whatever happened, like where I could call up whoever I want, like I'm done with that.
Yeah.
I don't crave that. I crave companionship all the time, but I don't need it, and I don't want something just for a sneaky link. I don't want just like somebody to come in and just fulfill my physical needs. Yeah. I need more than that.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I've told guys before, like, I'm not looking for sex. So that's what you're here for.
Kind of evolved where before maybe you were looking for sex.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there was a time in my life where I was like, this is all I need. Yeah. Like,
see, and I think that's what happened to me. I think that's why I'm not like. I mean, there was like a short period of time, maybe like 6 months to a year, where I was like, "Fuck, I really want to fuck." But at this point, it's like, it's not my top priority. Like, if it happens, fucking great. If not, like, like it's not the thing anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I have other stuff that I would rather have.
Right.
And so
I mean, that physical need's always gonna be there.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like, I think mentality wise, like, I'm just like, I'm done with all of that. I want something serious. But to be honest, like the way, like how my life is right now,
not a lot of room for it. Huh?
Oh, there's not. And I'm like, if you can't fit me in that, 2 minutes where I can see you, or 30 minutes, whatever, I have very limited time. You know this.
Yeah.
Because you'll hit me up for a podcast. I'm like, dude, I can
we
do
have
it
to
this
schedule
day.
The podcast
around my schedules. Yeah. It's pretty crazy. And like, even on my days off, I'm just like, dude, I was up at 8 a.m. going to Pocatello to get my hair done. I had to come back at 1. I was supposed to get on the other podcast. And then I was driving because my appointment ran late. So then I ended up canceling halfway through. And then I had to get to another podcast. And I was like, hey, I'm 30 minutes early. Can we meet up sooner? Yes, I'll be there in 15 minutes. So then met up for that. And then I had to feed my kids and then drop them off again. And then I had to go pick up their friends because we were dropping them off at the movies. And then I had to meet for the other podcast. And then it was like, okay, it's nighttime. It's time for bed. Like, dude, it's like, and that's a day off.
Sometimes things pop up. Did you know she won an award
What was that award? For the
4 under
440?
40. Yeah.
That was cool. And you haven't been on the show since then, so congratulations officially on the show.
Thank you.
The one thing you forgot to do was thank Beyonce when you went up there.
Dude, I said that. I was like, I need to go. If I win, I'm gonna thank Beyonce.
And then you forgot.
I did. I was so nervous.
That was so cool though, because we were doing we had a podcast for the It Begins With Us schedule that night, and I was like, oh well, you guys have that, like we can reschedule. She's like, no, we can probably still do it. It'll be like
with our dresses on.
And so I'm on the way there, and they're like, "Yeah, this is running late." And I was like, "I fucking knew it." And so I'm thinking I'm just gonna turn around and go home.
I told Angelica, tell him just to come over here.
Yeah,
I
and
feel
so she's like,
bad.
tell him to come in and like come do the work show. Yo ando todo. Yes, they were to the nines, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, at least I'm wearing a collar for once. Like I was wearing a polo.
And he was wearing black, so
wearing a black polo and like some crappy jeans and my crappy shoes.
He
I'm
matched
like,
right in.
Like that. De haber sabido me hubiera arreglado. That's one thing. That's like the only thing I know how to do in this life is arreglarme. But I showed up. Like I went in. We had the dinner and stuff. It was cool. And then when she won, like I was very proud of you, Maria.
Thank you.
It was awesome. It's all hard work.
I kind of like ghosted somebody that week because I had so much going on. And I was just like, I just don't have time for this. Like, me da flojera. I don't even know how to say that in English. Like, I'm on that dating app and I get matches like all the time. And like, I can show you, I have like 30 messages I don't even open, dude. And I'm just like so over this dating thing. Yeah. And I'm like, if you don't take your time to come out to see me or to plan something with me. And
those dudes are probably all like, che vieja.
I know, and I'm sure they're like, I'm sure
she on the dating app? She's not even
I know, I'm
replying.
sure they talk shit, dude. It's been so many times that I'm like,
dumb bitch,
answering back.
Keeps going.
I'm like answering back, and I'm just halfway through. I'm like, I'm just tired. Like it's pointless. I don't even know why I do it. Why I even like, Yeah. And there's been so many guys that are interested in me, and then they end up like messing it up with me. And I'm like, you're the one that wanted me. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But I know it's hard. It's definitely hard. But I mean, yeah. También a veces like because I was telling you guys that my ex wants to like quiere regresar otra vez. And I'm like, no. Pero sí yo le dije a él like, like I think I'm good. I'm good with where I'm at. Like I'm, going to school, like working. I'm in the field that I like. I'm like, and I'm okay with myself. And so like if I don't ever find anyone, like that's fine. Like I'm okay. Like I'm not because like before, like after me and him broke up, I was just like, oh my gosh, like me voy a quedar sola, con quién voy a estar? Like, oh my gosh, that's like I don't want that. But then it's like, you go on so many dates and you meet people and it's like you start finding icks, right away. And like I'm just like, no, like I don't want to deal with that. Like I'm good. Like I'd rather just be on my own, doing my own thing. And I do, like I enjoy my time cuando with my baby está con su papá. Like if I can stay and work later, I will. Go home, go to In-N-Out, sit down, enjoy my food. Just like
that's a good time for you.
My brother was
yourself.
telling me the other day, he's like, you know what's weird? I found one of our brothers, like he's like gone out to the bar by himself. And I was like, why is that bad? And he's like, by yourself? And I'm like, I go out to eat all the time. You do not. I go out by myself all the time.
Yeah.
I'm talking like at least twice a week. I eat by myself.
Yeah,
I'll sit at the bar and dude, I love it.
I've done that. I used to do that all the time when I lived by myself.
I had
specific friends that would join me for specific things. Like I had the one friend that was always down for a Mongolian grill. So I'd hit her up. There was two ones. There was
you can add me to that list.
And so, pero si no, pues iba solo. And then
I go there all the time by myself, really? Actually. Yeah.
And Jeanette that's been on the show, we've talked about on the show even too, how she was my Fiesta Olé person. She's the only other person that liked Fiesta Olé. So like, Jeanette, want to go Fiesta? Órale. Igual, y si no podía, iba solo.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to the point where I'm just like, oh, like if the guy that I'm talking to, if he's not available or if he has something going on or whatever, like, yeah, I'll go to by myself to things. I just recently went to, Eden Munoz was in LA.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't get to go to Karin Leon, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to this one. And yeah, sure enough, bought my ticket that day, went to work, got off early, got ready.
That's cool.
I've been to concerts by myself and people think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
There was one time I was so mad because all my friends, it was when I started my business, they're like, in September, we're all gonna go. Like, this is so awesome. There's all these bands. Cool. You got me down. Like, I blocked off the whole day. I'm not taking events, even though I needed the money. You know, I was like, I'm taking it off. Todas las hijas de su... Nobody...
They all bailed?
Every single one of them bailed on me and didn't go. I was so upset. I was like, I'm not going to go anymore. What am I going to do? I turned all these orders down. Like, I can't believe I did this. And then my best friend was like, dude, like, I'm sorry. Like, if I wasn't pregnant, you know, I'd totally join you. She's like, but you're so cool. Like, you do stuff like this all the time. Yeah. Like, why don't you just go and then find some girls that are hanging out by themselves? And I was like, dude, you're so right. I went by myself. I recorded the whole thing. I actually got almost on stage. Like, I got my hat signed. Cool. You know that hat that you commented on? My hat was cool. It's signed by, ¿cómo se llama Ortiz? Gerardo Ortiz. I was right there, front row, like right by him. And he signed my hat. I hung out with met two girls. One of them actually just came down this summer to come drink aguas frescas. We're friends on Snapchat.
Oh, see? That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, so, and that was 3 years ago.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm just like, I'm fine doing my own thing, going, you know.
Yeah.
Es que sí, a veces más vale solo que mal acompañado.
Yeah. That's another thing is, like, I always drive. I like to drive because I don't like people, they're not responsible. I have to be responsible. I have a business and, like, everything's, oh, well, we can just hang out with my friends or do this and do that. And I'm like, no, I got to go home.
Yeah.
I got to go home.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
So you need to have your own transportation and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. Porque luego no sabes con quién vas a terminar.
Yeah.
Right. And I think another thing we haven't talked about on this thing is how, like, for me especially, like, it's super hard to date here.
Yeah.
Because
todo mundo se conoce.
Not only that, but I have the problem for me is that everybody knows who I am.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of men are intimidated.
Yeah.
Like, the minute they find out, like, that little situation I had going on, like, over a year ago. It's been 2 years, actually, I think. I don't know. It's been a while. But I told him my middle name because I've already had, like, things happen where, like, I tell people who I am, and right away they'll, like, oh, like, they back off.
So you go by Flor. Para que
no
sepan que
so I,
Maria.
like, told them, I was like, my name's Flor. And the whole time, like, come to my house, come to my house, come to my house. Like, no, dude, I gotta work. Who works on a Sunday? Like, you're such a liar. No, I work on a Sunday. Like, where do you work? And I'm not a liar. I'm not lying about my name either. So I'm like, fuck, like, what am I going to say? And then I was like, I was Maria. And then I, like, looked this way.
Which is technically true.
And he, like, slammed his brakes. It was like, oh, you're Maria. Oh, my God. I just wanted to get out. I was like, please, like, just leave me alone. Like, are you going to kidnap me or something? He's like, you lied to me about your name. And I was like, no, I didn't. He's like, I recognize you now.
Jeez.
And I'm like, oh, okay, just take me home. And he's like, why did you lie to me? And I'm like, I didn't lie to you. And I was like, that's why I don't tell you my name.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but it's hard. I guess it's like to date in the Hispanic community, most of all.
Remember that girl I was telling you about last time that, like, that I was hanging out with? And like, her boyfriend, like, her the guy she'd been situationship with, how he got married.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And so, and it's the same chick that you know about. Like,
okay.
And we went to
and
we went to the river and all that shit. And then, like, she kind of fell off for a while, and she's like, hey, I just been going through some shit. Like, he tenido unas crisis existenciales que no sé qué madres. I told you about that last time. I'm like, yeah, it's cool. I understand. And then she's like, pero no, todavía me interesa hablar contigo. Because I straight up asked her, like, ya perdiste interés?
She was talking to her ex. She started talking to her ex again.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that's what it was.
Yeah.
And that didn't go through, so she came back to me.
So she came back to you.
And then so I was telling, and that's where Maria told me what breadcrumbing was. Because then like a few days later, like, nomás me mandaba como, hola, que no sé qué. So I would answer that.
And then nothing.
And then she wouldn't reply back. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so then finally the way that ended, I finally ended it. Like I sent her a message kind of out of nowhere. And I was like, oye, mejor si no me quieres hablar, está mejor. Yo no te convengo. Yo bien dramático, ¿no? So I'm a bad person. Because, like, and Maria said I was self-sabotaging, too. Because that night she was telling me, like, the night we hung out at the river and shit. Like, I was telling her about how I have a felony and shit. And she's like, está bien. Like, todos hacemos, you know, cometemos errores con que te hayas arrepentido. I'm like, well, that's the thing. Yo no me arrepiento. Like, oh, fuck. I'd do it again if I could. And so, and Maria's like, that's like self-sabotage. I'm like, yeah, I guess. But like, it's also kind of true. Like,
no, but it is because I do that shit all the time. As soon as I start, like, getting involved with somebody that I actually start liking, and as soon as I start liking them, and I'm like, I need to tell them the truth.
Yeah.
And the truth has always been the truth, you know? But I'll be like, I'm really not that cool. Like, I'm this, and this, and that, you know?
Dices todas tus fallas.
Yeah. And then they're like, it's cool. You're fine. And I'm like, no, but yeah, you might find it like, dude, yeah. It's, oh, you know what? Also, another topic I didn't write on here that I wanted to tell, like, do you guys ever find yourselves like that you have red flags?
Oh, I'm a walking red flag.
No, yo soy
Perfecta.
No, I figured something out about myself, and I haven't been to counseling anymore in the last like 3 weeks. I ended my session, and I actually figured something about myself that I hadn't figured out this whole time, and it's every time like that I'm talking to somebody, and if they don't, all of a sudden like I feel a slight change, like they don't reciprocate my energy, I just boom, I run as fast as I can.
Is that really a red flag though?
It is, because it's like I have an avoidant attachment. Like before somebody hurts me,
oh yeah,
I dip.
bye, peace. I was talking to this guy.
How is that a red flag though?
Because I don't even like wait for an explanation.
You don't give him a chance to hurt you.
Yeah, I don't give him a chance.
Which is not
like,
a red flag. Like, I think that's smart. You knew a guy that what?
I knew, like, I was talking to this guy at the beginning of the year sometime, no me acuerdo. And he seemed like a great guy. We went on like 2-3 dates, and he was, you know, matching my energy. We were talking, everything. I think I came in June around that time, and like he knew that I was driving by myself, and he called me, and he's like, se quedó conmigo en la línea casi like until I got to St. George, I think.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
And it was like, he was a really nice guy, and you know, we hung out, whatever. But the moment that I started feeling like he was like too like interested or like too invested, I was like, hell no. I ghosted him. I did not like.
That's fucked up. And I did the same thing.
Yeah, and I felt bad.
Did the same thing.
And I was telling my therapist that I'm like, I'm just so scared to like
get too attached
because I got super attached to my ex, so attached to him that I could not see my life without him. And so when he like dropped me like that and he moved on, I was like, how could he? Like, I was begging him to come back to my life. And so, like, I don't want to be put in that position again. I don't want to do that I don't ever want to do that again. And so, like, with that guy, when he started showing so much interest, I was just like, nope, I cannot do this. And I think he sent me a text message, and he sent me a text message, and he's like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, I just feel you distant. And I'm like, yeah, no, everything's cool, no worries. He's like, okay. So we kept talking a little bit. And then after that, I totally ghosted him. Never spoke to him again.
I've done the same thing. I feel like almost every person I talk to, like, as soon as I'm like, you know, we start talking about when we can hang out. And then, like, once they're like, I'm like, hey, like, this is the only time. Mm-hmm. And then they don't match that energy. Then I'm like, bye. And then they'll be like, is everything okay? Yep, it's cool. And then it's like, nope, it's not cool.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And I think I do think that's toxic.
Yeah.
It is. Because I
Toxic
wouldn't
behavior.
like it done to me.
Yeah. No, heck no. Like,
So I got to work on that.
yeah, no, so do I. After everything ended with my ex, like, it took me a while for me to go out and, like, even go on a date. Y mi ex suegra siempre me decía, you just need to get laid. Like, go and get laid.
Your ex-suegra?
Yeah, and I would always, like, look at her and tell her,
That's
like,
when
how
you know
can
it's sincere, man.
Yeah, I'm like, how can you tell me this? Like, I dated your son. And she's just like, you just need to get laid. Like, she's like, I don't care who it is. She's like, don't even care who, just like, go on a dating app, whatever, download it, talk to someone. Like, most of the guys are just down for that. Just do it. And I was like, no, like, I can't. And so, like, I ended up going on a date with this guy. Best date ever. He planned everything. He went above and beyond, whatever.
Mhm.
And we talked for a little bit. And after that, like, he ghosted me. And I was like, okay. Like, like...
That sucks!
That sucks. It hurt. I was like, oh, damn. Okay. All right. Cool. Hasta nos tomamos fotos. We went to an escape room. Like, this guy planned it, like, very well.
Like a
So that's the
date.
Like a
best.
date, yeah. Especially because I had kind of ghosted him before. And then he messaged me and he's like, hey, like, because we had a match on a dating app and then I ghosted him. And then we ended up matching again. And he's like, wait, we matched again. Like, are you ready for that date? And I was like, yeah, let's do it, And even leading up to that date, he was, like, sending me messages like, hey, are you sure? Like, are you still good? Are you still going to go? And I was like, yeah. So, yeah, it was, like, really fun. And, he planned everything. But after that, he ghosted me. So I was like, oh, So that did, it sucked. And I was still, like, I couldn't let go of, like, wanting to have sex with somebody, just because I don't know, I just wasn't there.
You say you didn't have sex with him?
I didn't have sex with him, no.
Man.
You still didn't get laid.
I didn't get no. And then siempre me decía, mi ex suegra siempre me decía, just go get laid, just do it. Once you do it, you'll like, you'll move on, you'll have, next chapter,
Get it
whatever.
out of your system,
Yeah, and I was like, okay, easy. Dicho, it was like, I don't know, sometime in January, and this guy, we matched, and he's like, hey, do you want to go dancing today? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. We went dancing, and then we had our little one night stand, and that was that. Never talked to him again. I have him on Snapchat still, and I have his number, but
just in case.
just
in case.
but we never talked
You should
again.
send him a message every couple of weeks. Breadcrumb his
Breadcrumb
ass.
him.
No.
I was just thinking right now, like, I've actually, the craziest thing, like, thinking right now.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. It just exploded in my mind. I've had probably more than you guys, like, dates or people that I've, like, had a thing with and not had sex with them. And then been like, how would that have been? Or, like, I dropped them because we didn't have sex.
Maybe.
Because I feel like, okay, like, moving too quick is not good. Like, having sex right away, I don't like that. It's happened before.
Yeah.
And it's totally fine. But I try not to, just because, like, to keep them interested, or, I want something more serious. But there's been people, like, guys that have dragged me, and I'm like, I want to know how it is, I had this conversation with my counselor. She was like, well, that, like us in the LDS church, like, we don't even have sex until we're married.
Do you have an
Why the
LDS
fuck
counselor?
not? I want to try the goods before I'm stuck with that forever.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I used to believe that too, that we don't have sex until you're married.
That's crazy.
And then,
That's insane.
like, I had a different life, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I wouldn't know the things that I know now. I wouldn't enjoy the things I enjoy now. Like, know what I actually enjoy and what I don't. Versus, if I hadn't found out, like, I think it's definitely okay not to wait till marriage.
Yeah, it's not. And I mean, like, pues ya cuando sales con las personas, ya sabes con quién, you're gonna, because, like, I've
Who you
gone
can
on different
trust and
dates, but I don't go, every guy that I go on a date, I don't, like, sleep with.
Right.
Like, you just get to know them, whatever. Like, the guy that I'm talking to, like les digo, I met him in December, and I didn't have sex with him until, like, June. So, like, it was just, like, talking, hanging out, you know, whatever. Y eso porque se dio. And even before we had sex, we talked about sex. And we were like, okay, you know, and he was like, okay, like, do you care about size? You know, care about, and it was just, like, something that, you know, we talked about. And then, ya después cuando se dio, it's like, okay, yeah, we like it. Do you like it? Yeah, we like it. What do you like? You know? And stuff like that.
But do you care about size?
Honestly, I don't. Because, like, la pueden tener bien pinche grandota and, like, no saber
how to use
hacer,
it,
you know?
Yeah.
Like, I've had bad experiences. But...
With big wieners?
Yeah, where it's just, like...
I've
had to fake it till you make it, you know?
Right.
And so, yeah, and so, like, some guys, like, don't have it. Like, tampoco que nos dan una miniatura. But, like, I guess mid-size is fine, you know? I mean, and then they do other things, and it just works out.
Yeah. I think I've had problems with, like, when I was younger with bigger. Like, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it was more painful.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then to go into smaller, different size, and then just, like, not even care. I've never cared, actually. I've never cared.
I never cared.
But it just, like, noticing, like, I know there was one time I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because I can tell this is going to be great. And then it wasn't. I mean, the size was there, but it wasn't. And then I was like, okay. And then, you know, like, they always talk about how smaller guys always do a better job. That shit not true. That is not true.
Have you had the experience, though, where a smaller guy does rock your world and when you didn't expect it?
I don't think I've had really a lot of, like, smaller guys. I don't think I've had... and then I've had, like, where... big, you know, like, where they rocked my freaking world, you know? I did learn one thing that I stand by it. Younger guys have always, like, stood out to me in that area.
Really?
Yeah. Younger
I did
guys.
go on a date with a guy, 25. He's 25. 25, yeah, and I'm, what, 32? And, yeah, I was like, oh. Yo, like, cuando me decía
Rocked your
él,
world? That's, like, prime age. I think I was at my
Yeah.
best when I was, like, 25.
like, siempre me decía, hey, let's go on a date. I'm like, no, you're too young. Like,
Yeah, no. I've always been against younger men. Like, I'm talking, I had never dated anybody my age or younger.
It was always older.
It's always 2 years older or older. Always. Like, I've dated two guys very seriously that were 10 years older than me. Like, that's I had typical, you know? Like, my mom is married to my dad. They're 10 years apart. So I've always, like, known that was, like, the thing. So I've never wanted to date anybody younger. And then, like, the first time I started hanging out, the first time ever with a younger guy, and I thought he was only maybe 3-4 years younger. And then, you know, did the deed. It was amazing. Greatest thing ever. And then he's like, so how old did you think? I'm like, I've been asking you this question. Like, just tell me. And when he told me his age, and I was like, get the fuck out of my room right now. Get out right now. He's like, I'm over 18. I'm like, I don't care.
You're over there feeling like a pedophile?
Freaking, I was like 8 years younger or older than him.
That's crazy.
I'm like, that's a fucking cougar right there.
Yeah.
I almost start roaring or something.
He felt good about that shit.
He was 22, but still, like, that's crazy.
But still, though, that's what I'm saying. Like, those are the ages when I think men are most virile and creative and shit. I think I rocked a couple worlds, and I have a little small wiener, you know, I don't have a huge cock. So it's
We
like...
know. Okay, I was waiting for you to say something. I didn't want to say anything.
Because you asked...
Like, I'm not going to call you out.
I'm not gonna say anything.
You asked Itzel
because
if she cared about size, and she kept glancing at me. I'm like, well, you're making it kind of obvious right now. Itzel. We already said you've seen my
didn't
cock
notice.
multiple times.
I was like, damn.
It sounds multiple times. But I also feel like I have enough experience and stuff. Like, I'm, you know, I don't feel like I'm inadequate.
Yeah,
As
no,
far as,
I don't think I've ever had a bad experience with a younger guy than me.
Yeah.
I don't think I haven't had a bad experience.
And of
I
course,
have
there
that
are like
experience.
size queen chicks that, of course, you're not going to fulfill that. And so that's not who I'm going to try to fuck, you know? Like, why would I try to fuck a size queen if I know I ain't a size man?
yeah,
You know
I've
what I
had a few guys. No.
Well, Yeah.
The glances though. Watch the video when it comes out. Like you asked her and she's like,
I see you looking over there, but I didn't think like nothing of it.
and I'm like, well, we already established that she's seen my penis a million times, so you know.
I've just seen it. That's it.
Yeah.
Nada de otra cosa. Nada. Just seen it. Así.
That's why she
para abajo y para arriba, pero that's
y
it.
pa' todos lados. That's why she had a good laugh that first time.
Yeah.
I was cheering her up. I'm like, this she'll think this is funny.
Like you said about your situation. Wait till I tell you about my permanent situation.
Yeah, I can't. At least you can get another job. I can't do much about
I can't
this.
get another dick. Sad.
Oh shit! But you know,
Yeah.
at this age, you just learn to live with it and admit it. And,
It's fine.
you know, who cares? It's something that kind of bothered me when I was younger, but it's like, learn to live with it. Who cares?
I feel like I'm that God, like when the guy like goes out on a date or keeps constantly dating somebody, the girl, so that way he can get laid. I feel like I'm that one. Like because I feel like I don't know, men are so intimidated by me. I dated somebody when I was like 19 years old. So freaking gorgeous. Okay, the guy was just sexy as fuck. Okay, he was like everything I ever wanted. And we kissed many times. It was like a couple months into it. And then one day, it was like the fair time, and he asked if I could get him what are they called? Turkey legs?
Oh.
Like big ass turkey leg. So I went to drop it off, and he's like, come inside my house. And I was like, okay. And we were making out in the car, and everything was great. And then, like, so we go in, and I was like, it's going to happen. It's going to finally happen. And we went in, and then he's like, I want to show you my king-size bed. And I was like, okay. And then he opens his door, and he had a freaking blanket on the floor. And this guy, first of all, like, I'm not unattracted by men that don't have money, okay? But I was 19 years old, and I already had my apartment and everything, like, established, right? Like, couch, bed, washer, dryer, everything. Everything that you could need.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was 19. This guy was 27.
Yeah. 27.
He lived with
some shit.
but he lived with his brother too. Like they were both single, didn't have kids, and they had a good job where they were working, over 80 hours a week. And I'm just like, bro, you have a little tiny couch, like, and you dress so good, like you have money, but then you go into your room and you have nothing. And I was just like, okay, cool, whatever. And he's like, you want to stay with me? And I was like, sure. And I stayed the night with him, and nothing happened.
What?
And so then the next day,
He didn't make a move at all?
No, nothing,
What the
dude.
fuck, dude?
Like,
That's
we
weird.
were making out, and that's it. And then I think that's, like, that turned me off. But then, like, when I was about to leave, he's getting dressed for work, and he's like, come smell my perfumes, like my colognes. And so I'm smelling his colognes, and he's like, which one do you like? And I was already like annoyed by him. And then like the way he like got up, like, I don't know, he like did something like this, and his like body movement, it just like instantly like ick. I was like, this guy's gay.
You think that's what it was?
I don't know. He recently got married like a year ago or two.
Well,
I
it
don't know.
doesn't matter.
But yeah, handsome, like freaking handsome. Probably like one of the best looking guys I've dated.
But he didn't make a move. He didn't
No.
grab your titties or anything
He did.
when he was making out with you?
Yeah, and that's it. Like,
But he didn't try to fuck.
no. I even
Did
tried.
he grab your pussy?
No.
Nothing, just your boobs.
Yeah. And we
The
slept
hell?
together without sleeping together.
Did you spoon?
I think so.
Did you wake up with a boner between your ass cheeks?
No. Nope.
Because that's the best part about sleeping spooning. You're like,
I do remember, like, I wanted to go down on him, and it just it didn't happen. It didn't happen.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And
Where
I
do
was,
you, where do you find these?
dude,
Where do
I've
Where do
told
you
you my
find these
stories.
guys,
I've told
man?
you my stories. Like,
where
I'm
do you
saying,
find these people?
I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, there's something wrong with me. I keep
Yeah.
finding men that can't have
I don't
sex
think
with
you're
me.
the problem, man.
I don't know.
I don't think you're the problem.
I'm starting to think I'm the problem
No, I don't think you are.
because it's happened many times.
I
where
don't
they
know.
just can't.
Necesitas una limpia o algo, pero I don't
I
think
know.
it'll problem.
I've been told. I've been told.
Oh, shit.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah. It
That's
is.
fucking insane.
It is crazy. I'm like, I'm not ugly. I'm kind of good looking, I think. I get told all the time, but then when it's time, like, yeah,
They're pussies.
I know. And I'm like, dude, I like self-conscious. Like, do I stink? But I'm like, I get told this, you smell so good. I'm like, so what the fuck is wrong with me?
I don't know. That's weird, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're not an ugly person. Do you think she's attractive? Itzel? Maybe you guys should date.
I know.
I'm still pushing for the lesbian thing.
You are really. No, she's really pretty.
You guys should make out right now. On camera.
I know.
For our 7 listeners.
Hey, and I just want to say too, I think a lot of men like think that they have to be attractive or they have to have money or they have to have like all these things in order for us to like them.
Yeah.
And honestly, as long as you're consistent and put effort, I don't give a shit what you look like.
As long as
Have
you're
you
22.
seen the guys I've dated?
As long as you're
No,
22 to
enséñamelo.
25. As long as you're 22 to 25. Because I wasn't super attractive and I've never had money, but I used to fucking, you know.
That was the
I've had
only-
my fair share of chicks back then, man.
I'm
I'll
like,
tell
that
you
was the only younger one I've had, you know, in 2 years. Ever since that, like just 2 years younger than me. It's been a consistent thing where it's like every guy that's 2 years younger than me is like all attracted. I'm like, dude, you went to school with my brother.
That's you got to stop thinking like that. There comes a point where
Every
you got to
time.
stop thinking like that.
Actually, they have
Like
there's
after 30, like
pictures
it's all
of them
it's all the
together,
same.
and I'm like,
I feel like all 3 of us are the same age, but I'm older than both of you.
yeah.
Ya estás viejo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A los 40.
But we're all in our 30s. Like, I
Like
feel like
right now,
like if I was with someone your guys' age, it would no one would bat an eye.
no.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
I was having a conversation with my brother about this the other day. Like, we were talking about an ex-boyfriend I had when I was 15 and he was 19. Dude, that's so bad. Like, it's so horrible. And I'm like, my ex-husband was 6 years older than me. I was 19 and he was 25. You know, I'm like, nobody
And the
cares.
further along you go, it's the least it matters.
Yeah, and I'm like, and you know, the 2 relationships I was in, they were 10 years
Yeah.
older. I'm like, my
I
mom
was-
and dad are 10 years apart.
I was
Like,
25
yeah,
with an
but-
18-year-old, and then my ex-wife was 6 years younger than me.
Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
like it just didn't matter.
But we
after
were
a while.
talking, he's like, what about your daughter? He's like, your daughter, if she was 15, would you be okay with her dating a 19-year-old? I'm like, it just depends on the intention, I think. And then he's like, no, like, there's no way. And I'm like, dude, I've always been older than my age, you know?
But that's what I'm saying. The more you go, like if
Mm-hmm.
you're 15, 19, that's kind of outrageous. But that same age gap further
But
on.
then we were
entonces no
talking
importa.
about it, and then he's like, oh, I forget that you grew up in Mexico. And I was like, yeah, in Mexico, you get married at 13, 14, 15 years old. Like, that's normal. And he's like, I forget about that.
And then like old people in Mexico are crazy. Like my grandma was 13, my grandpa was 21 when
Oh
they got
my
married.
gosh. I have to translate birth certificates all the time.
And it's always
You
shit
know,
like
we
that.
file the paperwork and stuff. And like I've seen birth certificates donde dice que like hay unos que tienen la edad de los papás, hay otros que no. Pero esta señora, su mamá tenía 15 cuando la tuvo y el papá tenía como 50.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like,
It's that
oh
type of
my
shit.
God.
Oh,
It's like so all our grandparents were like pedophiles, or was it just the norm? Like that's the difference, you know?
Yeah.
In Mexico, it's so different.
But te digo, ella tenía 13 and my grandpa was 21, and then she had fucking 20 kids nonstop after that, you know? Just one after another.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, like, that first relationship I had, that's why he dropped me, because he's like, I'm 19 and you're 15, like, your parents, if they find out, like, they'll...
That is scary as a guy, though.
Yeah, and I'm like, I got it, I get it. I totally respected him for it. I didn't get over him for a long time, for years, but
Aw.
it was my first heartbreak. But yeah, it's,
Just
you know,
heartbreaks.
I know. It's
I've been
crazy.
gone for almost 3 hours. So I think it's time for
Valuable life lessons.
you both have done this. Who wants to go first with that? With their valuable life lesson?
Valuable life lessons. I have to think about it.
Ay, so do I. Tienes que dar
So I have to go first this time?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn on my phone camera so I can get because my camera's been dead for a minute now. Because that's how long we've been going. But that's because it's so you don't live close by. So when you come, we have to tenemos que aprovechar that you're here, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. It was nice coming for the weekend. It was a long ass drive though, but
Yeah, it's crazy. I thought you flew in. I didn't know. I thought
I
you.
drove. It's just cheaper to drive, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
It's only 12 hours. It's not that bad.
It wasn't that bad. Yeah,
I've driven
12 hours
11
really
hours by
isn't bad.
myself.
Yeah, 12 hours isn't
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, last time I was here, I drove by myself.
See? Oh, también manejaste?
Yeah, when I came in June.
Oh, in June you came.
For a
What
day?
about when you came in December? When did you?
No, in December I flew.
You flew, no?
I was with my daughter, but
Yeah.
this time, or last time I drove.
You drove.
This time.
Valuable life.
Well, I think my
lessons.
valuable life lesson is that I'm a walking
red
flag.
Yes,
I don't
you
have
are.
a bank account. I live with my mother. I'm getting close to 40. Itzel says I have a small dick.
Because you do.
A little bit of. I'm on the overweight size, but you know, you can get at me on the socials.
Somebody's gonna like you that way.
Get at me on the socials anyway, and get me on a good phone plan.
Valuable life lessons. Valuable life lessons. I learned that you have a small dick. Valuable life lessons. So won't be trying to hook up with that.
Is that really valuable to you, though? I mean, I feel like you weren't gonna try to hook up with me anyway. So
You're probably right. Valuable life lessons.
but ahora menos.
ahora estás fuera de la lista. Ya no. Sí,
And you guys are
It
both.
was right by the line.
Ahora ya.
You guys are both saying that after you guys said, "Well, size doesn't really matter."
It really doesn't matter. Trust me. Trust me when I say I've been with a man that had not going on down there. And I was just so attached and
It doesn't matter, but
Yeah.
you have all these other red flags. And so you're just completely off the
Yeah.
list.
The big dick helps alleviate the other red flags.
you know what I was so most pissed off about that was
What?
because he had a small dick. And I'm like, you want to cheat on me with
With your small dick.
you're out here like showing off your disabilities.
Oh, jeez. I remember you saying that, actually. Once you said that, I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember. I know.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Showing off disabilities on purpose.
And it's not even to cheer someone up.
No.
Just because.
Just a disappointment.
It's a...
And
Valuable life lessons.
Valuable life lesson. Let's see. Well, I learned a lot about you today. Cosas que ni sabía.
I know.
You know? Entonces, I don't feel as bad dating multiple men sometimes. You know? Because it's not bad.
It's
Just
not
getting
bad.
to know people.
Yeah, get out there.
And
get
then-
to know
I need to
people.
get to that level because I can't. Once I start talking to somebody, I just don't talk to nobody else.
I think it's
Well,
mostly... It's
I'm
because you don't
really-
have time. Realmente tienes tiempo para uno. Like...
Yeah, but I mean, like, por ejemplo, yo, like, I did date a couple people here and there, whatever. And, like, when I started talking to this one guy that I talked to, like, I was still, like, you know, meeting other people. But once I saw I was kind of, like, getting more serious, and I'm like, okay, like, because at the time I wasn't fucking him. Like, we were not doing anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, why am I gonna not talk to other people, you know? And then when I got serious like that, I was like, okay, like I wouldn't be okay if he was like fucking other bitches, and then like, you know, coming with me. Like that wouldn't be okay with me, you know? So I mean, está bien, conoce a gente,
Conoce gente.
cómetelos.
Cómetelos.
quieres.
Si tienes hambre,
todo el
come.
buffet.
Si quieres,
Valuable
si
life
no está bien, no hay
lessons.
problema. Again, like.
Cómete todo el buffet, dice
Todo
María.
el buffet.
Sí, o
I
sea,
don't. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not even hungry no more.
pero también está bien, like, si no, y ya, like, estás bien sola and, you know, do your thing, go out, have
Did
a
I-
drink by
She barely has the
yourself.
appetizer, yeah, you know?
I did. Dude, I wish I knew how to use a vibrator. I wish I liked using
Oh my
one.
gosh, like, I just bought one the other day.
I bought one when so I got divorced and then I got in a relationship months after that. And then after that relationship, I bought one because I was like, I fucking hate men.
Uh-huh, yeah, same.
And I was like, that is the only thing I get out of it, and I bought one, and
that's when you realize that you have to have an attachment to have
I
sex
have-
with someone. You
yes.
can't just enjoy it
Yes.
without an attachment.
I just start like.
I wake up in the mornings and I'm like, why the fuck is no man here with me right now? If I was a dude, I'd have a freaking wood every morning.
Well, that's every dude though. It's called morning wood. That's just
No, trust me, I've been with men that don't.
really.
Yes,
That's crazy.
with more than half the men I've been with.
Oh, wow.
Sad.
Wow.
But no,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
like I mean,
I
they're
thought
fun.
morning
like
wood.
them.
I thought everyone had morning wood. Even if you're not thinking about sex, you just or morning wood. is the
There's
thing.
one que tiene una florecita y que se mueve.
Oh, the rose?
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I'm like, I spent $100 on the other one.
Oh,
Why
no.
am I gonna
$100?
spend? Yeah.
That's too much.
Dang.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
like-
spent like it was on sale for Black Friday.
Well, it was like $75, but that's close to 100, and that's way too much
Oh, too much. Yeah.
for it to just.
If she would have liked it,
waste.
she'd be like, "I got it for 50."
You know
But since
what,
She didn't
like,
like it. She got it for 100.
I'll tell you, like, these do not get used. Okay, I think this is disgusting. I really do. It like turns me off just
Oh,
to
you
even
like
think
fingering
about it.
yourself?
Yeah, like
you'll
no.
never finger yourself.
Oh
Nope.
yeah, no, I don't do that. I
No.
like vibrators. My whole like
But you've
This-
never fingered yourself.
I
Like,
have
You.
before.
I feel like that's how you start masturbating. That's how you
I
find
have,
out you
but
like
I
it.
didn't like really. It
And then
has
you're
never
like, maybe I need something else.
never really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not even like when a guy. Es que hay unos que lo hacen parece que like te quiere.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to know, dude. That's one
Espérate,
thing.
like,
I think that's
cálmate.
like that's something you have to learn. I
Like-
learned that very early on. Like I'm fucking
Yeah.
amazing at fingering girls.
Like there's just some guys that don't.
Girls
know
though,
how to do
porque
that.
a veces se me rompe el papel de baño and I don't like it.
Oh, huh? What?
I end up fingering myself and it's not enjoyable.
Oh God!
Se me traspasa el dedo por el papel and I'm like, oh fuck.
It just clicked.
Sabes todo
I'm
cagadillo.
like, I'm all thinking like, why were you using toilet paper on her?
No, on my like when I'm wiping my ass.
I got it. I got
I
it.
said I don't like fingering myself, but I'm good at fingering girls, just not myself.
Es que hay unos que no.
Yeah.
No,
And I have to wash my hands extra good.
there's probably 9 out of 10 that are bad at it.
Yeah, they're like super bad. Or when like they go down on it, on the girl or whatever, and they're like,
No saben ni qué hacer.
and I'm
Dude,
just like,
I don't
Okay.
know. I've been told, I think, like I'm good at it. I think I'm great at it because I feel like I do to them what I would like done to me if it was me. And
I've
I'm like,
gotten
men don't.
compliments.
Yeah, and I'm like, men don't think
Nice.
about that when they go down there. They just,
Yeah, they're just like,
yeah, and it like turns you off, and you're just like, please just.
just stop.
It's not as hard to give good head as it is to give to eat pussy, but there is good head and bad head. But it's easier to get good at giving
I'm
head.
sure
feel
I
like.
did. I gave bad head a long time ago.
Porque.
I'm sure I used teeth and everything.
Oh, really? She circumcised some dude. and shit.
I
No,
think I circumcised somebody before, like, and it wasn't with my mouth either.
Ever since my ex is white, so, half, whatever, but he's, él sí está circumcised. So ever since then, I'm like, I would never go back to,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, you
Hell no.
you just like circumcised wiener now?
Yeah, like I will never go back to the before. And todos los hispanos,
Just
know.
no
Well,
for you.
okay, so I've been told maybe I haven't been with a lot of guys. Okay, I guess.
Neither, but
She's
Well-
dated a bunch and then they don't fuck.
Yeah.
They just lay in the bed with her. That's the stupidest shit. All these guys, God,
Ugh.
Jesus.
Well, what I'm trying to say is like to me, I've been with both because my first husband was circumcised and then the second one wasn't, and I've been told, and I think I don't know if they shown pictures or something like where they're not circumcised, and it's like so much skin, and I'm like I've never had that experience.
there's some that do.
Yeah,
Some
I'm
of
like
them do.
I've never had that experience, and I've been mostly with Mexicans, I guess.
Oh no.
I don't know.
And there's never been too much skin.
No. Except the
Yeah.
one time I circumcised the one dude. He told me he was not a virgin. It's actually
How did you circumcise him?
I don't know. The first time nothing bad ever happened. It was the second time. And it was like painful for him. And I was like, what's going on? And he's like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Something's wrong. And he's like, let me go to the bathroom. So he goes to the bathroom and he's like, Maria, Maria. And I was like, what's wrong? And so I go over there. Dude, it's like, psst, 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 like blood. Squirting blood. And I was like, oh, do I need to take you to the ER? And like, so I blamed it on myself because I had been on my period like that week before. And it was like, the last day was the day before. And I was like, I'm going to make sure I'm clean down there. And I wasn't really feeling him either. Like, it was just kind of like that physical, that I needed just the physical to get off. Not like because I liked him that way. And so I really wasn't that turned on either, to be honest. And then he is like this thin too. And I'm just like, dude, you're so skinny and I can't do anything.
So what happened to the doctor? Did they have to actually circumcise him?
No. No. Okay, so all that blood. And I was like, do I need to take you to the doctor? And he's like, no, I just don't know what happened. Like, you just like pulled it all back. And I don't know what you're talking about. You told me you lived with a girl for 6 months. Okay, and then we had already done it one time before and nothing happened.
It was fine.
Yeah, and then he came over another time. Like that, we call it quits after that.
Wow.
We came another time. I had white fucking sheets, okay?
Oh, wow.
And he was feeling it. Everything was great for him. It was okay for me. And then like I was like, oh dang, like it must have been better than I thought, you know, because it like felt wet everywhere. I get up, dude. The fucking bed was a murder scene. A murder scene.
I've had that happen with a girl that started her period, but
no, this was him.
I've never seen the guy. I've never heard of the guy doing that.
I
had the girl, and I'm like, oh man, you're so wet today. And then we turned the lights on. I was like, oh, you weren't wet.
He was bleeding. I wasn't bleeding. It was not.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's normal for I think a lot of people have gone through that. With the girl bleeding. I've never heard of the guy bleeding.
No, he was bleeding.
Estaba en sus días.
I got men that don't have sex with me, and then I got men bleeding.
You got guys that have periods? Damn, where do you find these guys?
I don't know.
That's why I don't look
shoving around at the circus, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of Hispanos now. Well, my mom me dice, hay muchos hispanos que están viniendo para acá, de California, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I went to the mall today, and there was a lot more Hispanics than what I was used to. Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, like the city is growing, you know? So now it's not just like, the same people that you went to high school.
Oh, you mean up here in Idaho?
Yeah.
No, you see a difference from leaving and coming back?
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Visit?
Yeah, I saw there was a post. I'm still.
And there's a lot more that aren't Mexican too. There's a lot of
there's
Venezolanos,
a lot of like
Colombianos,
Venezolanos, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hondureños.
Yeah.
All those people.
Yeah.
Just OTMs.
Just what?
They're OTMs.
OTMs.
Other than Mexican. Ever heard that term before?
OTM?
Yeah, the Border Patrol has two types of people coming through. They classify you either as Mexican or OTM. Other than Mexican.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard that before.
So
but I didn't know there was a term for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Muchos hispanos. It's
Hell
growing.
yeah. Hell yeah. Fuck, about time. Hate white people.
No, I still like my white people. I live in a white surrounded area, so I feel
Fuck white people. I hate them all.
Where I live, like it's not super crazy.
I hate white people.
I mean,
you do not, liar.
Hay unas cosas que hacen that I'm just like, oh, okay, but you know.
White people activity type of shit. Like getting circumcised.
Hey, I'd rather just.
None of that extra skin.
Yeah, I don't want
none of that snuffleupagus shit going on. I've always wanted to be uncircumcised. I'm sad that I'm.
You can still do it.
I'm excited.
You can still do it. Just stick it back on.
How am I gonna stick it back on? What the hell?
The turkey. You know when you cut off all that extra meat,
just put it back on.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch the Happy Gilmore? Cuando su amigo he's missing his hand. Then when he dies, he's like, "Don't cry, Happy. I got my hand back." Así va a estar yo en el cielo. I'm gonna be like, "Don't cry, guys. Don't cry, guys. I got my foreskin back."
Maybe that's why it's so little.
They cut off. They cut off.
Cut off part of it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be just skin.
Assholes.
It might be it. It very well might be it. But
That wraps it up.
this is the longest podcast on this. I think on anything that I've done.
Yeah.
So
But it was the whole time it kept going.
it was awesome. It was good. I loved it. Itzel. Next time you come back, we got to do another one.
It's so my nitzel.
No, es Itzel. Cálmate.
Saying goodbye for all your hating. Itzel Manitzel.
Yeah, I'm going back to
Maria.
Cali on Sunday.
Yeah. On Sunday? What time you leaving?
Like 10 maybe.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a 12, 13 hour drive.
Oh, damn, man. Well, maybe next time we'll go to California.
You guys should
Acabo
go.
Maria le gusta manejar. I'll sleep the whole way there. Fuck yeah. I fucking hate
Maybe we
driving.
can go in like.
The only thing I hate more than driving is white people.
Well, you won't find much of that over there.
Oh, yeah, no,
But we can go to a few bars.
hell yeah. Let's do it. It's a plan. This summer, though. I don't like traveling.
¿No ves que
every
según va a ir el Julián Álvarez a
Oh, yeah.
allá? You guys, ¿te gusta la banda? Sí, ¿no?
I like Julian. I wouldn't say I like la banda, but I like Julian Alvarez.
Yeah, still cannot go out.
Yeah,
to the
we'll go to
concert.
that.
I'm like, yeah, it's so expensive.
I know, I saw that. I was
Yeah.
like, no, mejor me voy para México.
We'll just go see Itzel Manitzel out in California.
It's so my nitzel.
And we'll take the recording stuff and we'll record a podcast.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Say goodbye, Itzel.
Bye.